Hello, Albie Vintage. Thanks for coming to see me. I just got on. I'm going to connect my computer. And for some reason, I was literally trying to download, like previously made listings so I don't have to type them out. And it won't let me download them. So I'm trying to figure that out. Let's see if this will let that stay there. It probably won't. There we go. So let me see if I can figure out what's going on. Don't really understand why I can't view them. I am coming. I am here. Just trying to figure out why I can't bring these to my live. So hang with me for a second. Let me try to figure it out. So strange. Hey, Mel, how are you? I'm trying to pull back like my old, like previously typed out, listings so that I don't have to type them every time. And hey there, Carrie, how are you? And for some reason, when I go to the store and I try to pull it in there, it won't let me. So let me try one more time. I'm not ignoring you guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. And let me try to figure that out. I'm like baffled, to be quite honest. I have no idea why it won't let me do it. Because I've always been able to do it before. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to figure out where these are. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry for tapping on the phone. It's just so nice to already have them typed up. And then I just duplicate it, which is really simple, but it's not really simple when I can't find them. I don't know where they've disappeared to. So strange. 6. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. We are approaching, like, Christmas is just around the corner. What is today, the 9th? I mean, like, if you haven't started your Christmas shopping yet, you got a lot to do. That's all I got to say. I tried to get a lot done today, but I always end up saving all of my like stocking stuffers and all that stuff for the very end. Or I'm just buying all the little things. How many of you guys in the chat like do stockings? It's always been a tradition for us, and it's like my most favorite thing to sit and try to pull in. Find the most awesome, perfect little stocking stuffer that no one would expect. You know. You see, I'm still going through the list and I still haven't come across them. Isn't that crazy? Because I never ran them, so it's not like they should be expired. There they are. Why did they never show up before? Well, there's 3 of them. I wonder if at some point it just deletes itself. Like it expires itself if I don't use it. I don't know, but it seems to want to save every single other thing I've ever done because I'm still going through this list. But worst case scenario, I can just duplicate it and then like change the price over and over again. So annoying. Hey, Mel, how many kids do you have? I know you have grandkids. You see, it only lets me pick 4. That is weird. I don't know. And that's to make a new one, so I don't know. That's all right. We'll just get started. Just ignore that. Okay. Oh, how annoying. 2 children. And that means how many grandchildren? But as grandma, I'm not in charge of stockings anymore. Well, I guess that simplifies your life. 5 grandchildren. So does everyone come to your house, Mel? Or do you like, I would think you have seniority so that everyone should travel to you. Hey, look what I got. And it actually works. I had to order a whole new pen. So annoying. All right. Well, as you saw, I mentioned this the other day that I was going to be doing a gemstone kind of unbagging. I did unbag it already and kind of sort it into certain things to make today faster. So you'll appreciate me for that. But yeah, it's a huge, like 12-pound all gemstone lot I got off shopgoodwill.com. My name is Curry. If this is the first time you're in, I think most of you that are in here, I know. See if there's anyone who popped in. Audie's over from YouTube. Welcome in. I see Rachel's there, and Carrie and Mel, and probably some other people from YouTube. But okay, so here is my big thing. Hold on, I gotta pull the chat up on my computer so I can quit looking at. Hello, hello. I just want to make sure it's on mute. Okay. I can't even lift it up. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. 12 pounds. 12 pounds of loveliness. You pay a lot for this when you bid on a lot that's gemstone. You pay a lot. I paid a lot, but I got a lot. So beautiful, beautiful things. So as quickly as we can, we'll kind of go through some stuff. I definitely will do some you guys know, just interrupt me and say, hey, will you run this? But what I'm trying to do is I want to do like necklaces, bracelets, things on cords, earrings, all that kind of separate, because then it's really easy for me to lot things together. So I'm going to pour this out. This is like 12.4 pounds into a tub because it's just much easier for me to get stuff out of. So let me do that real quick. And then I'm also going to take out some of the stuff we're not going to look at at first. Like there's bracelets, and we'll just look at the main necklaces to start. And then we'll do other stuff after that. So there you go. This is just going to be sitting off to the right there. Now, a lot of you hear me talking about how, I know some of you are so funny because I don't know that much about stones. I just am a good memorizer. And it's funny because some of you guys are cute. You'll be like, oh, Curry will know. Well, half the time I rely on Rachel because she knows too. And, uh, I do know that I've done this a lot. So when you get a lot of repetition, it tends to make it easier and easier to identify stones. The more challenging ones are when you're trying to differentiate the difference between all the black stones, obsidian and tourmaline and onyx. That tends to get more challenging. And then, of course, a big challenge for me personally is identifying the difference between, just by looking at it, because you can't test it on the Presidium, turquoise versus, dyed howlite, or I think it's called magnesite, is also another one that's used to look like a fake turquoise dyed. So, I do know that turquoise doesn't show up on the gem tester at all. So I think sometimes if I test it and I get no reading, or at least, or very little, then that's sort of at least a sign for me, like it's no proof. But yeah. And so just from reading and, a lot of repetition and, you know, um, just memorizing, I've learned. But one thing that's helped is having a lot of visuals, and I have a couple great books that have helped. This is a great book, and I'm not going to have you look at the whole thing, but there's one section of this book that has all the colored gemstones. So sometimes, like especially at the beginning when I was just learning, see if I can show this to you, but I might have to do it on the floor over here because my desk it'll be too heavy on my desk. But so this is great because you can kind of identify things by what they look like, and it'll give you some characteristics and that sort of thing. What things look like is just one thing to help you, and then the gem tester helps in another way. And how it feels, and if it's cold, and if light passes through it. There's like all these little tricks. Okay, so you just get better as you go. And you learn from other people. So I'll have to say, I just know what I know because I've really learned from other people, and I've just kind of delved into, um, trying to get, because I'll tell you why I try to really be knowledgeable about it, because I'm a perfectionist. I'm sure that doesn't come as a shock. And there's no way that I'm going to call something a certain thing. I don't want to call something a diamond or call something, 14 karat gold unless I'm absolutely confident that it is. Because I don't want to sell something to somebody and be incorrect. I mean, mind you, everyone makes mistakes. So I'm not saying that sometimes we don't make a mistake. But I'm saying generally I want to be knowledgeable. But you've heard me talk a lot about the fact that just because something is marked with a 925 does not mean it's 925. It means, it could be, and now I need to see if it's magnetic, and I need to see, if I acid test it, if it reacts the way a positively tested, precious metal would react. But lots of times things are marked with 925 and they're not when you test them. And there's many times where things are not marked with 925 and they are. So you can't just assume if something's marked with 925 that you can go and sell it for that. Now, most of you already know this. So I'm just randomly talking at that fact. But anyways, this is an awesome book. And you know where I got it? Look how thick it is. It's got so many great pictures on it. I think I got it from Costco a couple years ago. It was like an awesome find. And I ended up having another version of this that was similar, but this was like the newer version. That the other version I mailed to my friend Hannah, which many of you guys have, met as she's popped in lives in the past. But the reason I brought out these books is because many, and I'm sorry, let me say this also. Another challenging gemstone to sometimes differentiate is like aventurine and, jadeite or, uh, or nephrite jade. Okay, a lot of the green stones. So that's something that you have to learn about characteristics of to tell the difference, and like the difference between lapis lazuli and sodalite. But there's a ton of things that fall under what's considered a quartz. And a lot of times you guys hear me say, oh, that's a type of quartz, or that's a type of quartz. Well, I want to show you a little list here. This is just another great book that I use just sometimes for a resource to help, answer my question or identify something or whatever. But if you look under, these are all the gemstone families. You can see it right up here. So I won't go into all of these. It'll probably overwhelm you. But I will tell you that quartz is something that falls on the Presidium gem tester. But when we're testing, I know that amethyst should fall there. I know that different types of quartz, smoky quartz, and all the other names. There's a million different names for different quartz. But also, um, uh, things like, and it doesn't actually say this here, but if you read about it, you will see that all, jasper as a rock is considered a quartz. Now, it doesn't say it here, but it is considered a type of quartz. You can read that. You can look that up yourself. But I know that, and I know that jasper is an opaque quartz where light cannot pass through it. But another type of quartz that isn't just quartz is, when you hear us all talk about agates, okay? That's another type of quartz that, you can get confused with other things, but that it's considered, it's a translucent stone where light can partially pass through it. So anyways, I just thought it was just worthwhile kind of showing you this and, encouraging you guys to not be afraid to go out there. I know we can look everything up on the internet, but I have to say, nothing will ever replace a great book. Opening it up, looking at the pictures. I feel like everything we do is look it up on the internet. And I feel like sometimes the internet's wrong. So that's all I wanted to say about that. So, some great books. So, yeah. And I don't know where I put the other one, but for some reason this light wasn't on, but now it is. All right, so let's get started today. And I'm gonna, just start off with what I did is I sorted all the stuff. I already went into it, and all the regular necklaces that are just stones with necklaces that are not stretchy at all. Normal necklaces are in this tub, okay? But then I also I pulled out all of the bracelets. They're separate. I pulled out any necklaces that are stretchy because to me those are less valuable. So I put them in with the bracelets. And then I have separated just necklaces that are on cords or necklaces that are on metal pendants. I took those out um, to look at them separately. And then I have just pendants by themselves and I have earrings. And there's probably a few rings as well. But yeah, so we're just going to start with necklaces. And I'm just going to go through. And I'm not necessarily going to run every single one of these. But I do not want you to be shy. Like, I'm here to give you a great deal. And, unless these are like one specific name brand something, and I can do like quick, um, Google Lens checks to kind of see value. But, I'm going to offer you as a fair price as I can. So don't be afraid to say, hey, can you run that? Or, whatever. Don't be shy. So anyways, here is a super long, we call these chips. This is chips, and I believe this is red jasper. And I know that just from experience by looking at it. It's not like ruby, because ruby is actually something light can pass through it. And this would be a very expensive necklace if it was ruby. But when you see all these little different shaped stones, we call those chips. So this is considered to be like a chip strand. Okay. And I'm not going to sit and show you on the gem tester every single time because I do pretty much know a lot of these, but I want to do it sometimes to show you. So this is 34 inches long, okay? But what I want to show you, because jasper, red jasper, is a type of quartz. If I'm being correct here, and I'm going to bring this way down here, then, and I could be wrong. So this is how sometimes we learn. Let me just real quick calibrate this. I just got this pen, and I've already calibrated it once. Okay, there we go. But you want to make sure that it's calibrated so you're getting the correct reading. Okay, so this should fall into the quartz range, and the quartz is this bottom line right here. I know it's hard to see it, but it's the line right there. So anywhere in that range is, so, and there you go. So, yeah, so this is a red jasper necklace. So I'm just gonna keep going unless you stop me and go, hey, run that. Okay. A really long strand. This is hand knotted. And let me give you let's play a quiz tonight. Many of you already know the answer to this, but some of you may not. You hear a lot of us talk about how, oh, is that real stone, or is that hand knotted? Hand knotted is something that to look out for. We want to look out for that. But why is it that hand knotted items to us as resellers give us more value? Why do you think in some necklaces why do they even bother hand knotting something rather than just putting all the beads together? I know the answer, but I want to see if some of you can answer. Tell me what you think. I know you guys know the answer to this, but I'm just asking you. It's quiz night. So this is in fact hand knotted, and while you type that in and tell me why you think things on gemstone necklaces and pearls, why do they hand knot them? There's a reason that they do that, especially on nicer necklaces. So that's 24, 34. This is a 40-inch necklace. Okay. Whether or not this is turquoise or a dyed howlite or a dyed, I think it's called magnesite. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel. Do you know? Isn't it magnesite that also can look like quartz. I mean, turquoise when they dye it. You see, if this goes up, you see, this isn't going up very much at all, which kind of to me makes me think it could possibly be turquoise. Um, the fact that it's hand knotted, that's a sign. And let's see if this clasp is real, meaning is it sterling silver? Now, it's not marked with sterling silver, and I'm not going to take the time. Excellent. That is one answer. Very, very good. When it breaks, you're not going to lose all the stones or all the beads. That is one reason that they hand knot it. That helps keep you kind of safe and secure. Another reason that they hand knot these is because then you're not going to have stone rubbing on stone and damaging it. Now, mind you, there's stones and pearls or pearls throughout, but still over time it wears it down. So keeping those knots in between holds two purposes. You don't lose them when it breaks, and it makes sure it keeps the gemstone or the pearl in its best condition as you wear it. Because, hopefully a lot of people hold these for a long time. Maybe they'll have them they're going to pass them down to next generations, right? So, yeah, I don't know if it's turquoise. It's not my strength. I'm not good at it. But I know that turquoise doesn't really show up on the Presidium gem tester. But I'll show you. Hold on. I'm going to show you something else that looks just like turquoise to me. I mean, I can't tell the difference. I know that we could take nail polish and I could go in a very indiscreet spot. I could go and rub the nail polish and see if any color comes off, because if it's a dyed material, then we'll see that little bit of color. But I find often when I do that that it doesn't. But that doesn't. But it. But then it. They're not. It doesn't register on the gem tester the same. Like, it's very confusing to me. Um, I think this is howlite. Howlite naturally comes white. This is kind of cream. But, you see this goes up much higher on the gem tester. Okay, so that is a different stone than actual turquoise. And I don't know for sure. Like, here's another stone that looks like turquoise, but it might also register in a different place. So see, this barely registers, but, I don't know. I'm not good that way. Anyways, yes, Larimar can look similar. You're exactly right. I love that stone, Larimar, that blue stone. Isn't that the stone that they're starting to harvest less? It's going to become more valuable, right? Anyways, there you go. A really nice turquoise color stone that is real gemstone. I just don't know which. Now, mind you, if I was actually then going to list it, I would find out, like, whether it means I would, there are other things you can do to figure it out. I know that there's like, you can do something with a needle, but you see, I don't want to damage things, okay? So here we have a beautiful necklace here. All of these are natural stones, so I don't need to tell you that they're cold. I don't need to tell you that they're heavy, but that's your sign that when you're looking at necklaces that have beads like this, if they're not cold to the touch, if you don't put them on your cheek and feel that coldness, or if they're not have some weight to them, then they're probably just like like another stone, like an acrylic made to look like that. Now, one uh, little side note to that is, when you're looking at pearls, you can get faux pearls that are glass, that are cold and heavy. And then the way you're going to differentiate pearls that are faux glass pearls versus real pearls is then you can do your little scratch test very gently to see if you get any grittiness. But that's the only thing that's going to also be cold and heavy, even though it's not a gemstone. So we have a green stone here. And just by experience, I'm looking at this and I think this is aventurine. But the way I'm going to really know is I need to look at it under my loupe, because the difference between aventurine and like nephrite jade is that it's going to have little bits of shimmer in it when I look at it under a loupe. And so I'm looking at it here. I can't make it so you can see it because I can't get that close up to you. And it's even smaller bits of shimmer than, like, let's say lapis lazuli can have like flecks of gold. This little bits of shimmer are even smaller. It's almost like you turn it a little and you just see little It's like twinkling, okay? That's going to be your sign that it is in fact aventurine, okay? And so I do see shimmer in this, okay? Now aventurine is a type of quartz, and so there you go. Now these ones up here, I'm not sure what they are. I honestly don't know. They could just be glass, and there they are. Those aren't even real gemstone, and we know that because you can see there on my gem tester. It's not even moving, okay? Or it moves just the teeniest bit. So this is just a normal necklace, and it's got an aventurine pendant. It's very pretty. It's got little seed beads in there. And so it kind of separates them. So, that's another way you can bead necklaces. I think hand knotting's even nicer. But anyways, with a nice vintage clasp. So please yell at me if you want me to run anything. Just stop me and go, hey, Curry, run that. This is gorgeous. I'm going to have to put this on the neck because it's just so pretty. It's got like, it just lays really well. And I appreciate the way, things lay like that sometimes. So this necklace, let's see if I can get it all adjusted. So look at the clasp up here. These are gemstones. It's gold. It's, and this comes up to, the area of quartz. So I believe it's some type of quartz, not sure which one. I think this sort of style, this is all hand knotted, but kind of with spaces in between them. When you see some of this jewelry that has sort of this, thread, but then the thread goes around the bead and then in it and around it, I think that's called macrame. I don't know if you would define this as macrame, but I just think that's a unique clasp, okay? So it's going to go on the neck like that. Well, and I'm going to have to turn this. I think we're going to go the other way. I think that is the way we need to go. And there's two of these in two different colors. They're both a little bit different than the other. Sorry, I want to get this to lay right. Turn it. There. I think this was put in upside down. I think that's my problem. Turning it. Let's make it come up through the hole instead of down. Okay, so there we go. So hanging somewhat like that. If I had all my books, which I do kind of behind there, you can see it hangs down. It's got these really bigger pieces. But isn't that a really pretty, this is a pretty unique necklace. I really like it. And so very, very pretty. And there's another one in here that's I got to be really gentle over here because I don't want to break any of these necklaces. That is like more like a yellowy kind of, it's got the same similar clasp, okay? But isn't that beautiful? Like would love to run that. And, I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but that's beautiful. That's the kind of thing I would think people would be interested in because it's different. So this is similar. Comes down to the same. Make sure all these beads aren't tangling. So it comes down like that again. Oh, you see I twisted it. Oh, I twisted it again. You see, I think it was put in there wrong. There we go. That's what we needed. And so again, it comes down like that. Isn't that cool? Did you say that stone? Well, I just think it's a type of quartz. I know that when I test both of these, they fall in the realm of quartz. I just don't know which one. So if I bring this in the picture, it's very hard for you to see it. But both of them fall in the realm of quartz. And amethyst is a type of quartz, citrine is a type of quartz, those fall under there. Um, I suppose it could be a type of jade. That is a possibility because jade can also, doesn't have to be green. I know jadeite can be other colors as well. But you see, like I'm going to this stone again. You see it, sometimes it shoots up there towards the end of quartz and the beginning of jadeite. So that's a real possibility. And so then in this situation, I wouldn't be able to fully identify it and go, yes, I know it's blank versus blank. But here's what I know. I could go and list this and I could say, natural gemstone, possibly uh, quartz or jade. I mean, like I can say that I have some knowledge in it, and what someone else wants to do with that is up to them. But I just want to try to be able to give someone as much information as possible. But don't you agree? I know, Felicia, you've been learning about all this. Wouldn't you agree that this one, as well as that pink one, could be that it can come? You can get a pink jade. It's possible. So I think it could be either one. But I think those necklaces are just outstanding. I've never seen anyone's like that before. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm going to keep going here. All right. This is a beautiful long strand of mother of pearl. You can see it's hard to see it in there. You can see the beautiful, kind of luminousness that mother of pearl gives. Now, this looks different than, like, let's say, like a cat's eye. A cat's eye is very consistent in where its effect happens on a bead, and you can see here it's happening in varied places. Okay, this is cold, and you know, I don't really have any need to test this because I know it's a shell, and shells aren't really what this is gonna, show on here. Um, but I know it's not a pearl. Okay, now this is not hand knotted. But they're not pearls, they're just mother of pearl. But mother of pearl is still beautiful, but it's still a lovely necklace. We've got a gorgeous, beautiful kind of filigree, diamond shaped fish hook clasp there. And so when you look at these clasps, you want to look everywhere. Sometimes I see marks for metal purity here on the hook on one side or the other. Just the other day, I bought a 14 karat gold pearl necklace from a store for like $4 because they didn't see it. And that's not my fault, right? uh, and so I just snagged that thing right up. But you also want to look really close in here because a lot of times that will say, it'll usually say, because these clasps are older, it'll usually say the full word sterling. I don't see anything on that side. Let me look on the other side. Oh, yep, I do see something here. And it says sterling, literally the word sterling. Okay. So, yeah. So just know. A lot of times if you have an actual box clasp, sometimes it's written on the side or the back. But that's a pretty long necklace. Very simple but lovely. So we're looking at about 28 inches on that one. You see, and this to me, there's things about necklaces that also can quite bug me. Uh, Oh, no, no. No, I didn't. I didn't buy another Presidium. It is my old Presidium. I was able to contact the company and they actually wrote me back. The guy, I couldn't believe it because I feel like they're just so hard to, get them to answer questions. And I described what was happening and they said that I needed a new probe pen, that what I was describing, that it kept going up to diamond after I turned it on. It wouldn't allow me to, run any sort of, uh, um, doing, this version of the Presidium is one that can do assisted calibration, and it wouldn't even let me do that. And so the guy said I needed a new probe pen. And of course, what did I do? I went into this long spiel about how annoyed I was that why is Presidium producing products that, a probe pen can only last a year. Now, mind you, some people may treat their stuff really not well, but I treat it like I keep the lid on when it's not here. I make sure it's in a constant temperature. Like I don't go drop it on the floor. And, you know, um, I use it as they ask me to use it. And after, I guess it was about a year and a half having to get a new probe pen, he's like, listen, the probe pen over time will eventually have to be replaced. And someone was in the chat the other day. I can't remember if it was, oh, if it was Wendy or if it was somebody, or maybe it was Amy, who was like, oh no, that's their scam way to try to get you to have to buy more from them. You know, they make it so these eventually will go bad and then it'll go beep and then it won't work unless you spend $75 again. So that is that. So now I can stop telling everybody, sorry for my little chintzy backup gem tester. But it made do in the interim. But what I wanted to say about this is sometimes with necklaces, I find that they string them too tight. And this one's okay, but sometimes, sometimes they're strung too loose, and that's a problem too. But if they're strung too tight, then I feel like they don't lay nicely on the neck. Now, I'm sure because this is so heavy, it probably lays just fine. But sometimes you can have heavy beads that are strung too tight and they don't lay well. And this does okay. You can see it's got a little bit of miss whatever, but that's just my little thing. I hate it when, or I shouldn't say this. I should say I really like it when a necklace is strung well. You know what I mean? So there's that. Um, okay. Okay, so you agree about the fact that it could be a version of quartz, or it could be a version of, you know, um, um, jade and jadeite. I want to show you something. I have a book here. I want to show you. We all know that just because we have a gem tester does not give us the end all be all answer to what a stone is. It's not going to do that. It's only going to lead us in a direction, and we use other knowledge and other information that we have to know something. But the reason I know that about, the jadeite thing, hold on, let me open up this. I made a little, it's like a little notebook that I keep notes in, um, is because, I've seen these charts of kind of where gems fall in terms of their heat, because that's how the gem tester works, is it's shooting heat in through the probe, and it's all about how the heat goes through the stone, something, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't fully understand, but what I want to show you here is nephrite jade, for example, or even if we said jadeite. Look at all the colors that jadeite can come in: red or orange or yellow or brown or green, which is the most common that we are used to, blue, violet, purple, white, black, colorless. All of those could still be jade. And jade falls just a little bit ahead of quartz. And then when you look at just regular quartz, which let me go here, there are versions of quartz that can be multiple different colors, okay? This is all quartz, okay? And this isn't even listing all of them, but I just, I wanted to tell you. And then we also know that like iolite can be more than just one color. And we know that sapphire can be more than just one color. Uh, we also know that topaz can be more than one. You can have a white topaz. So you got to use all the information to figure it out. That's all I got to say about that. Okay, so let's keep going. Please holler at me if you want me to run anything. But if you just want me to keep talking, I hope I'm not boring you with all my information. Oh, you bought a new pen and yours did not work. So what were you having? What was wrong? What was your issue? For me, I was turning this on, and the thing, when I would turn it on, would come up into diamond and stay there, and it would never stop blinking red. So it would never be heated up or ready, and it would never let me adjust it, using the assisted calibration. What was your issue? I remember you telling me. That was my issue, and I described it to the guy, and he says, it sounds like you need a new pen. So thank goodness. I swear when it came in the mail the other day, I was so nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, if this does not work, if putting in this new pen does not fix my problem, then I'm really annoyed, because then I really feel like I don't have another option and I would probably need to buy a new one. And I didn't want to. I mean, these are $250, $300, depending on where you got it. And I was not interested in doing that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So anyways, here's another really lovely necklace. We've got just kind of this is just a gold tone. This is not a precious metal or anything, but we've got different sizes here of, this might be the green one here might be a version of some type of uh, jasper, but you have the one in here that is that color of stone that Felicia was talking about the other day. That's got green and pink. It's called like moo. I'm gonna absolutely what's the word? Annihilate the pronunciation of this. Maybe Felicia will be really nice and she'll write it in the chat. But it's like moon. I don't know, something. She'll write it in there. But it's um Mookite. There you go. Do you have a price for this one? Yes, I can gather you a price for that. So this has got what I believe to be some Mookite, possibly, because it does have looks like this does have some green and some purple, but those could also just be other types of just other jaspers that have those same colors in it. So generally, I think this is just like a jasper necklace. But let me just do a real quick test on here. It's possible that some of them could be glass and then some of them are jasper, So like those are just glass. The green ones, I'm getting a little bit of a reading on that. So I'm not fully saying that's glass. Okay. I think it's more than just glass. Um, the little ones are giving me a similar reading. Some going up a little bit more than others. So my gut instinct, I'm not a professional, and I will tell this to you over and over, is they are not glass. They are some version of a natural gemstone. I don't believe, I know they're not diamond. I know they're not sapphire and ruby. They're a type of gemstone. So let me just take a quick picture for this, Tiffany. So nice to see you. And, oh, Jasper has biblical significance. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. How are you doing, Nancy? Welcome in. We're just kind of doing a little natural stone unboxing and mostly just unboxing and talking and learning and sharing, because I don't mean teaching like you guys are teaching me too. So we're all just helping each other. But I'm happy to do pop-up sales if there's anything that comes across the screen that you're like, oh, I really would be interested in what you might run that for. So I'm just doing a real quick Google Lens search because for me, obviously, I want to offer a fair price for anyone who wants to bid on this. And so I'm going to run and just see kind of what comes up. This could be artisan made, so I may not find something that's exactly the same, but like this looks pretty similar. And they call it unikite. Or unikite, I guess that's different than moonkite. Moonikite. Unikite. I guess that's a type of jasper. Okay. But you see, I'm just going to run and see kind of what they're charging for that ish. And, $12 now, mind you, the length of the necklace versus this one. What did I say this one was? This one is 24, 32. It's about 33 inches-ish. Okay. I'm not saying every single time you run one of these, it's going to come up as $12. So let me look at what else is in here. We have one that's similar for 25. We have one that's 35. This one's got a big pendant that's 30. Okay, so I'd be willing to run that for and that one was 12. Okay, so Tiffany, I'll do a starting auction of 9 on that. Okay? So would you like me to run that? You just holler at me. I'll sort of create. Okay, no worries. I'm going to have to literally create one because my darn thing wouldn't let me. So we're just going to. I don't want that. Allow pre-bids. Sorry, I'm just typing this in. I'm not ignoring you. Many of you know, because you've ordered with me before, I do offer progressive shipping. My first item is $450 with when we're dealing with individual necklaces, okay? And every other individual item is 50 cents when it's, just one item. Okay, so it's going to be a blurry picture, but because I created the main one and then I duplicated it because I can't pull all the other ones up. I'm starting the auction now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but anyone's welcome to bid. But I did, that's the starting spot that we're going to do. So it's a nice necklace. And I know Miss Tiffany wears lots of great jewelry to school with all her middle school, right? Middle school social studies students. And I'm sure they appreciate all your interesting jewelry as well. Woohoo, very nice. Okay, so thanks, Tiffany. Let me get it in a bag for you. Do you have a necklace similar to this color? Oh, high school. Okay, yes. Okie dokie. Thanks so much. Yeah, I hope all you love all the stuff. You are such a great um, person in this community. I mean, you obviously come to my show and participate in it and talk to other people and all that. And I see that you do that in other shows as well. And that's what makes our this community so lovely is that we can all just kind of hang out and learn together. Anyways, I'll keep going. Look at this Beautimus thing. This is heavy. Oh my goodness gracious alive. And I'm going to have to put this on the neck for you to be able to appreciate as soon as I can get it untangled from whatever's going on here. Okay. So look at that. You see, my eye says these are probably agates. Those could be a type of turquoise. This is probably carnelian, which is a type of which is a type of quartz. These are probably wood. I think. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. But this is a pretty statement necklace here, for sure. It's got a little, hook clasp here. And, it comes down to this pendant. I'm going to kind of wrap it around a little more so we can see the pendant up there. But what do you call that kind of clasp again, even if it's not actually old, but it looks like that? Isn't that called, there's a name for that hook clasp. Felicia knows it because she talked about it the other day. It's like there's a name. I know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like oh, like a, I don't remember. Shepherd's hook. I couldn't remember. Okay. So again, this is just a filigree, pendant there, the little dangle. It is heavy and just very artisan made. It's lovely. So isn't that nice? And I'm not going to go through and test everything, but I just know because I had enough experience. Um, Sometimes I'm sure I confuse some carnelian, which is a type of quartz, with because not all carnelian has to be like this solid burnt orange. Sometimes it can have little striations in it. And then also you can get banded agates that are orange that also may not be a carnelian in their agate. So it's just hard to say. But that's pretty stunning, right? Pretty lovely. Okay. Like I said, I'm just going to keep going unless you holler at me, unless you yell at me. Yell at me, people. Okay. So this is a faceted big kind of stone, and it looks like this is one of those things where you can like add it to the end of a necklace, which is, look, I guess that's like, it gives you options, right? Um, but we've got similar stones up here. Um, to me, this looks like some type of jasper. It's opaque. I think it's possible this could be glass. It might be quartz, but it's possible it could be glass. I mean, quartz can also be faceted. You know, they can make it that. But so there you go. It's only glass. You see, it's not really moving much. But this, I think, is probably some type of glass as well. So that's not even a jasper. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be another kind of stone that's, you know, not jasper. But I just know that the gem tester won't help me with that. But it doesn't change the fact that it's beautiful to look at. It's cold, it's heavy. And if it's the color tone that you like, then it's the perfect necklace for whoever chooses to love on it. So there's that. Keep going here. Here we have a beautiful abalone necklace. It's got this really interesting clasp. I have not seen a clasp like that. Made with abalone / mother of pearl. Now this looks more like mother of pearl, but some of these look more abalone like. You know, shell is a natural stone, so you're going to get. It's going to look uneven, and it's going to have variations because it's a natural thing. Okay, um, but it's really cool the way it's constructed up there. It's, you know, kind of weaved with material, and in between these abalone shells, there's like 2 strings that are running through it all the way through. Okay. So abalone is a shell that they are now considering to be kind of they're worried that it's like disappearing, so they're limiting the amount that people can harvest of it. So abalone, if this is in fact abalone, it could be a different type of shell. Parts of it, like that, looks abalone-ish to me, but then you get here and it's more brown and it doesn't. I'm not a professional, so I'm not sure. But if it was actual abalone, I know abalone in general is going to become more and more valuable and seen less and less, just because you're not going to be able to make it anymore. But isn't those are different shape beads? I have not seen a necklace that looks like that. I love the uniqueness of it for sure. So there's that. I still need someone in the chat, some smart person in the chat who wants to look up the whole reason of a beggar's necklace. Why is a beggar's necklace called a beggar's necklace? I don't know the answer to that. This is not, I wouldn't consider this to be a beggar's necklace, but there probably is one in here. I had 2 of them the other night. You know, but I'm just curious the history behind the whole beggar's necklace thing, why they call it that. This one probably has a sterling silver clasp with, I guess you would still consider that to be a version of a shepherd's hook. It looks sterling to me. Okay. We know that sterling is would not be magnetic, so it's not magnetic. We have got dyed shells here, pretty teal ones, and some mother of pearl, shell mother of pearl. These are most likely glass. And then alternating with, you know, shells in glass. This is probably some types of quartz. Oh, thank you, Val, for helping me with that. Because agates were believed to bring wealth, beggars would wear them. Oh, okay, there you go. I love that. So yes, you can't see it, it's off the screen, but this does come up to quartz. So that's what's going on with that necklace. But that's a pretty unique necklace. I like that one. That's pretty. Thanks. The history of the beggar's necklace is rooted in the belief that agate attracts wealth and was traditionally worn by beggars. I love it. You guys both found the same information. That's awesome. You see, we never stop learning, right? We never stop. Okay. Here is another chip necklace, which I was describing earlier. That's what we call these kind of varied stones that we were looking at earlier. This looks like a turquoise color, but it doesn't look, but it isn't turquoise like at all if you look at it close up. Um, it is more like some other, that doesn't look like turquoise to me close up, but turquoise has a very different look to it. Like here's some turquoise-ishness. It just looks very different. This looks kind of more like, I don't know, just doesn't look like it. But I will let you look at it close up a little bit. It's, I don't think sodalite is that green. I think sodalite is more of a soft blue. So to be honest, I'm not sure. Hi, everyone. Love the information that you're giving. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm just, we're all just teaching each other. So it is not, it is a gemstone, just not sure which one. And I don't really know enough about, this color variation is kind of unique for me. So I'm not sure. Someone in the chat might have a little insight on that. But a chip necklace nonetheless. There's that. Okay, here we've got some beautiful tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is one of those gemstones that gives what we call an effect. It's like a light effect where, depending on kind of how you're looking at it, where the striations go, we can get some little kind of like shimmer happening in there. And it's unique, like different than cat's eye. Cat's eye can look much more consistent in its effect. Tiger's eye can be much more varied. But we've got square beads, we've got oval beads, and we've got these little flat. I'm sure there's names for those different shapes beads, but this is a pretty little necklace. So again, this clasp looks exactly the same as another one from earlier tonight. So maybe someone was making several necklaces. So again, I am happy to run anything you're interested in. If there's something that catches your eye, I'm just not going to just run everything just to run it. I'd rather play with the jewelry and look at it, but I will run anything you want. So just a reminder. So I think this is some type of soapstone. I've seen these in brown. I've had these. I've sold them. I don't, from my experience, this doesn't typically come up. Like I'm not looking at this thinking it's amethyst. Like it doesn't look like amethyst. And it's not showing as amethyst, let me go where it's a little not so blurry. But the hard thing with our thing here is I can't zoom in, unfortunately. My guess is it's a type of gemstone. I guess we're getting definitely a reaction in there, but I do not believe it's. Maybe it's soapstone. You can tell me from your own experience because I've seen these. I don't know if these are like made in Mexico or something like that, but it's got a little emblem there, a little face. You see it, and all these kind of linked beads, and just a simple hook there at the end. So there's that. Okay, I still probably wouldn't consider this to be a beggar's necklace because this is too modern. We've got Aaliyah Sophia hang tag right here. And so it is on a chain. And we've got some colored beads. Many of these looked glass to me. That's mother of pearl, dyed beads. That's probably glass. Yeah. So this might be carnelian right here, this orange one. Nope, just glass. And you see how similar that looks to, like literally the color of it is like identical, right? And so it's cold. They're both cold, but just because it's that color and in cold doesn't mean, and that's where a gem tester can help us. I know that's glass. I know that's not glass. Okay, so that's where it can really be beneficial. It's not always going to say exactly what it is. Sometimes what the gem tester does for us is that it can help us eliminate what it's not, if that makes sense at all. So yeah, you can keep coming down in here. Now this does look like a jasper of some type, just from my experience. And so that's going up a little bit. It's possible that could be on the low end of, kind of the quartz arena-ish. We've got a green one in here too. Also, I don't think that's glass. I think that's got a little bit more going on. But anyways, we do have a little bit of tiger's eye there at the bottom. It's got a little bit of, it's got a little bit of love to it, but there's that. Okay. So here now we have some blue stones here. And so, whenever I see blue stones, of course, my brain always goes to lapis lazuli, or it could be sodalite, or if you have some stones that are translucent where light can pass through it, then you can get into the realm where maybe it could be sapphire, it could be spinel. So these stones are opaque, like if I put light behind it, the light is not going to shine through them, okay? They're opaque versus translucent, meaning partial light can come through it. Okay. So, and when I look at these, they don't look like lapis lazuli to me, just because I've seen lapis lazuli enough. And they don't really look like sodalite either, because sodalite, as well as lapis lazuli, can often have little parts of white in it. Varied. Some can have a lot, some can have a little. So it's possible this could just be glass, or it might be another stone. But there you go, just glass. Okay. But a made in bulk necklace by Chaps. There you go. Now this is beautiful, gorgeous. This has got another fish hook clasp here. This feels cold. It is hand knotted, as we talked about the reason for knotting beads and pearls. And it's also got some little gold spacer things in there that I don't know. They might be gold, possibly. If I find that this is gold or this is gold filled, it might make me feel that those are gold or gold filled. But so let me get a real close look at this fish hook. I got to look in all the places. Hi there, Holly Nicole. Welcome in. We're just looking at gemstone jewelry in a big lot, doing some pop-up sales as a little bit here and there, but mostly just talking and learning. But welcome in. Let me look at the side. Okay, I do not see anything on this clasp. I bet you it's magnetic. It's got slight magnetism to it, ever so slight. The beads have some magnetism to them, okay? So now, at the beginning of tonight, I was talking about, the challenge of hey there, how are you, Chrissy? I'm in the house. Woohoo. Everyone go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Everyone give her a whatever hand thing. This is Stimpy is my friend Chrissy. She goes to Zumba with me. And, they're my dear friends that come and, hang out with us. And they're learning so much. But what emoji can you guys give that goes, ooh, 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 ooh? Hey, welcome in. So we were talking about the whole black stone thing and how just because you have a black stone, how do you know what it is, So for me, if I have something that's cold and heavy, I go, okay, let's see. There you go, Pack Rat Queen and her muscles. If I test this and it goes up into the realm of quartz, I will tell you that black onyx, is a type of quartz. So I could pretty surely positively identify that this would be onyx, if it goes up to quartz. If it does not, and it doesn't move at all, then it could be obsidian, because obsidian is actually a volcanic rock that is a version of a glass, okay? If it goes up a little bit, there's a line right here. Let me bring it up closer, that says tourmaline. Now, tourmaline can be black as well. And, so it's possible that, a stone could be that. Now, there are other things to identify black stones as well. Like, I can't remember which one, whether it's onyx. I think onyx doesn't always have to be solid black. I think onyx can sometimes have white striations. And maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's not onyx that has that, but it's tourmaline. But I know one of the two can have white striations in it that are translucent. That I know. That doesn't mean every single stone you're testing has it. It just means that sometimes they have parts of them that do. But look, this goes up a little bit. And to me, it's kind of going in the area of tourmaline. It doesn't go all the way up to quartz, which would make me think, oh, this might be onyx. So that's my guess. I'm guessing that this is probably tourmaline. That's my guess. But again, if I listed this, because I don't want the perfectionist that I am, I don't want to go and mislead anyone. I would just say natural. I know it's a natural gemstone. I know it's not glass because I identified that on here. I might say in my listing, um, most likely tourmaline, or I would probably say black natural gemstone, possibly tourmaline is probably how I would list it. Okay, using the information that I have. But this is a really nice necklace. And I was talking also earlier about how sometimes necklaces are strung and they just feel so good in your hand. Like you feel like they're strung so well and they lay so well. This is an example of one. This is about 25, 26 inches that's strung really well that it's going to lay so nicely on your neck. So there's that. Ooh, look, we got some gold stone here. Okay. We also have some, uh, you have hematite, which is what I believe. Is that hematite? Am I saying the right one? What's the one that's green? I always get that wrong. The banded one that's green versus announcement, black opal. I don't know what that means. But you can have marcasites, which are the teeny little faceted stones that sometimes get put into our, jewelry that gives it a little bit of glitter shimmerness. But uh, malachite is hematite's the green stone. Malachite, am I saying that backwards? God, I always say it backwards every time. You see, I'm not perfect, guys. Now I got to look it up. It's going to drive me. I think hematite's green. I think malachite's the magnetic one. And I don't know why I confused that. I confused the name. I don't confuse the gemstone. Hematite is the dark one. What did I say? Hematite is the dark one. No? Am I saying that wrong? Okay, this is going to drive me crazy. Right. Hematite is the one on the table. Malachite is the one that's green. Hold on. That sounds wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. What's the green banded one? Oh, it is malachite. God, I don't know why I get that confused every friggin' time. It makes me crazy. Crazy. Malachite, green versus hematite. Now, you can have hematite that can be magnetic hematite or non-magnetic. Now, a lot of these necklaces that come like this are so funny because you'll notice that they don't even have a clasp. And they don't have a clasp for a purpose because this is magnetic. And someone could just, put it on their wrist by just making it go around and around and around at whatever size they want. You know what I mean? And so that's why they don't put clasps on them. Now, I think people will probably more likely wear these as bracelets because the winding around is what would keep it on. Just a single necklace strand wouldn't do that. Okay. And so I wanted to say that about that. Now, uh, we have another stone here, and this is called uh, uh, oh gosh, like goldstone. And I will tell you that goldstone, I believe, is a man-made stone. I don't think it's a stone that's naturally occurring. And I'm going to read real quick what it says about goldstone. That's just what I remember. I believe that goldstone is man-made. Hold on. It might be some type of glass that has this shimmer stuff in it. I don't know. Let me look it up. Is goldstone man-made or natural? Okay. What is goldstone? Goldstone is sometimes called aventurine glass. It's a man-made decorative material. Ooh, I had it right. Ba-bum. Yes. So that's what I recall. Now, obviously, goldstone, there you go. It's a type of glass, but it's often used in jewelry. Okay. It's beautiful. And you can also get this goldstone that can also be like blue. I don't know if you call it blue stone then. I don't know. But you can also get them ones that look different. So, anyways, that's what's going on with that. But if I sat there and I did, my gem tester on that goldstone, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just glass. Okay. So I don't know that malachite. You see, I forgot it again. Literally between the last 60 seconds, I forgot it again. Why can't I not remember that? Malachite is green, for goodness sake. Why can't I remember that? Oh, it makes me crazy. Hematite. But I don't know if hematite, I guess it does register on there a little bit. You can see. So that's interesting. So there you go. You got that. That's all I can tell you about that. Yes, man-made. Emulates the natural sunstone. Very good. Oh, I've sold lots of malachite. I know what it is. I know what the stone looks like, but I always get the two words confused for some reason. It's like dyslexia in my brain of word. I'm a reading teacher, more specifically I teach kids with dyslexia. So I'm not trying to kid about dyslexia, but the brain flips things. That's all I'm saying about it. It's a wiring thing. And my brain is somehow flipping those two, and I don't know why. It makes me crazy. Anyways, look at this colorful one. We've got lots of chips. I believe it's possible these colored ones are glass, or they could be types of jasper. Um, you see that's going up to jasper. And that one's not moving at all, so it could be a little of both. Oh, it's going up a little. Okay. So on here, of course, we have some orange ones that I'm testing there, and those are just glass. So again, just because we have that look does not always mean that it's, a natural gemstone. That goes up a little. I still think that could possibly be glass. Okay. Now, I do know there have been people, and I've talked about this before, about the difference between, or a quick identifier in regards to like amber. Okay. Let me tell you, amber is not cold, amber is not heavy. So if you're ever holding a gemstone that's orange and it's cold and heavy, it's not amber. So just always remember that part, okay? Now, amber, we can test for it to be authentic amber by putting it under a black light and, seeing if we get a reaction of kind of like that milky blue green look or whatever. But like, I know sometimes people get that confused that they think, oh, well, I'm not sure if it's amber. It looks like the right color. Well, I know it's not amber because it's cold. Okay. Sorry, I just put a milk dud in my mouth. Okay. So here, I also know that it's not carnelian. It's not an agate. It's just glass. So that's what we know about that. Now, these other turquoise looking ones, these are all chips. I know turquoise doesn't even register on this, so it's possible those could be turquoise chips. Okay. Um, I'm not going to take out a needle and test it. I'm not going to do the nail polish test. I'm just going to tell you that I don't know if it's turquoise or if it's another one, but I'll tell you it's not registering on my thing. Alabama Slammers. What's that? What's Alabama Slammers mean? Oh, well, I would like one. What is it, like a shot? This looks like Dalmatian jasper. Now, I only know that because I've maybe seen it before, but I could be wrong. But these are also chips. Okay. It's just a long chip strand. And to be honest, I think these weren't even necklaces. There was another one I pulled out earlier that just was on a string like this with the plastic thing. I think someone's just buying this at a store so they can go and use it in, their artisan made jewelry. Okay. But this does move up in the direction of quartz. It's possible that could be Dalmatian quartz, but I know that there's some other black spotted ones that could also look similar to it. So I can't positively identify it, but it is a gemstone of some type. Okay. So here, it's a more modern necklace, a lobster claw clasp. This is made in bulk. We've got beautiful faceted, kind of champagne, uh, uh, colored beads there, but they are hand knotted. That's a lovely touch. And it's, I don't know if this is possibly howlite. Howlite comes naturally as white. Now, I definitely have some howlite bracelets that we haven't gotten to yet, but it is a gemstone. I'm not sure if this is howlite or do you guys know if magnesite in its natural form is also white? That's my question because I know it's magnesite and howlite are the ones that can look like they can be dyed and look like turquoise. Am I saying that wrong? Hold on, I'm going to type it in my phone. What gemstones are faux? Oh, hold on. What gemstones are dyed to look like turquoise? Okay. So, of course, I've talked magnesite. You see, that's the one I was talking about. Um, and again, you can have plastic and resin, and then you can go get into the whole story about whether or not your turquoise has been like treated. I mean, you could go down a whole rabbit hole, which I'm not even going to take us down. You can have dyed or treated genuine turquoise, stabilized, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Um, Reconstituted turquoise. Turquoise, though, I do know can come in lots of different colors. It can be more blue and more green. There definitely can be some variations. Um, but I was curious about the natural color of, I know the natural color of howlite is white. I was curious of the natural color of magnesite, which of course that's not telling me. What is the natural color of magnesite? Yes, and you do have veining for sure. Is white with black veins. Absolutely. Howlite is white with black veins. You are correct. This is cream with brown veins. So maybe that's not howlite. Now, I do have howlite in my bracelet. Hold on. Which we haven't pulled out yet. And we probably won't get to all this tonight. I'll probably do more of this on Friday. This is probably howlite, my guess. There are definitely two different gemstones because look, that one's not barely reacting at all. That's reacting a lot. Okay. Um, Magnesite, a member of the calcite mineral group, is often found in massive form as well, and well-formed transparent crystals are rare. Pure magnesite crystals are colorless. Well, this isn't helping me. And any impurities present the effect that their color, which is typically light yellow to brown or gray. Huh. I wanted to see a polished magnesite. You see, this is what it looks like here. This is probably magnesite. I'm just making a call. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Nice necklace. See, I'm learning right here along with you. This is one unique necklace. I have never ever seen a necklace that looks like this. I got to show this to you on the neck. Again, don't be shy. Holler at me if there's anything you want me to run. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep gabbing. Okay, so we've got just this doesn't look like sterling to me, but just a toggle clasp there with some tiger's eye and those I think those are just some metallic beads. They're not like faux pearls or brown pearls. This looks like glass to me. It's got an AB coating on it. Okay. More tiger's eye, definitely glass. But then we come across this incredible shell that's closed and dimensional and domed on both sides. Comes again, you got another one. I don't even know what shell this is. Look at how cool that thing is. Have you guys ever seen one of, obviously we use, look at the pretty color in there. We see lots of shells that are on necklaces, but I usually don't see them whole like this. And it gives off some coloring almost as if it sort of looks like that stone. Oh, now my brain's going to go blank. It's kind of a grayish, greenish stone that when you turn it certain ways, it gives you a color effect. Why can't I remember this? Someone will remind me. Gosh, what's the name of that stone? Someone tell me. Someone tell me. Uh, it's not a shell, the one I'm thinking of. It's like bluish green, and based on, depending on which way you turn it, you get little flashes of light. I know what it is. Now I got to look it up. Hold on one second. Drive me nuts. It is called Labradorite. Labradorite. There you go. Labradorite. I'm not saying this is labradorite, but sort of the flashiness that it gives kind of reminds me of it. Has any of you ever seen that shell before? Isn't that unique? I just think that is so different. And it is made to be asymmetrical because like the clasp is right there. So you see it doesn't necessarily lay evenly, but that's definitely different. Thanks the twins for filling my brain in when it wasn't functioning. Because it wasn't. Okay. This looks like a Heshi necklace, just the way the beads are cut. But I don't know if it's probably amethyst. Let's see here. I don't know if you can cut amethyst beads in like a Heshi style, but maybe you can. Bring this over here so you can see. It may not be. Well, it's actually a gemstone of some type, but it's not going up as high as amethyst, so I'm honestly not quite sure. But it's different. It's a short little choker necklace, got a twisting barrel clasp. And you see how you get like this little twistiness about this is where I'm talking about where things are like just the wire underneath it's become deformed and it like doesn't lay well. Like when I put this on the neck, I want it to lay nicely. And sometimes we have these deformed necklaces that have been stuffed in a box too long and like that looks terrible. And you try to straighten it out. And someone had a great idea the other day. They were talking about how if you know it's strung on wire, that you could like heat it up and then like reform it. I loved that idea. But anyways, there's that. Okay. A little bit of abalone, I believe. And this has got a twisting barrel clasp, definitely some faceted glass beads. This is probably aventurine. Let me look for that shimmer. Looking for the shimmer. It definitely has it. Okay. Hold on. Okay. We've got that moogkite, whatever stone, with the pink and the brown and the green, I mean. And then we have some malachite. There you go. I remembered it. Green striations. There's some malachite. Uh, this stone is very unique. I have no idea what that one is. The one above it is malachite. It is just glass. That's why I don't know, because it's not a real one. Uh, and so that is probably maybe some type of. Uh, it's possible that could be a type of jade. Possibly. I don't really. It looks more like an agate to me. Anyways, so that's that. But that's a pretty little necklace. Okay, another chip necklace here with lots of different colors of tons of different jaspers. You definitely see some red jasper in here. They're like, I believe this is red jasper right here. We had a whole red jasper chip necklace earlier. You see how it's fallen in there? I'm not going to go and test all of them. But there you go. Another chip necklace. I like the multicolor to it. That can go with anything, right? All right. And then after tonight, if there's anything that, because I'm not really running things tonight. Well, I mean, I will. I will run anything you want. But I'm just more gabbing. But if after the fact tonight, when we get done, you're like, oh my gosh, I really can't get that necklace out of my mind. You can always message me on District and say, hey, do you still have that one necklace that was blah, 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 and you can describe it. And then we can just do a buy it now sale and I can send you a link. Okay. Isn't this pretty? This is beautifully made. Super long. We've got some, these are metal beads up here with little gunmetal chain. But I love the multi-layers of all of these little seed beads in between all of these, what could possibly be turquoise. It looks like turquoise, but again, lots of things look like turquoise, so we don't always know. You see, this goes way up on the gem tester, and I don't think turquoise registers on the gem tester at all. So, you see, it goes way up there. So I think this is a dyed something, but what do I know? It's the stone that confuses me. But it is beautiful and it lays so well. I cannot even express. Talk about tactile and Felicia and her, oh, I just want to touch it. I just want to touch this necklace. It lays well. It's all the things, okay? So there we got that. And this is without the extender. We're looking at about 28 inches. Yes, Felicia and her eyes. And then my other friend, Carrie, she just loves the whole sound of, when you're moving around the jewelry and all that business. Okay, here's a big mother of pearl, like, you know, disc there. Definitely this looks heshy like to me. And we've got some additional mother of pearl beads in there, kind of varied shaped with some seed beads in between. It's actually really pretty. And the little bail that they created out of seed beads right there. So this has got, let's see, 4 strands. They're all a little bit different. And it's just hanging like that. Okay. Ishness. You got to get it all adjusted how you like it. Which that one to me. There you go. So, da-da. Ta-da! This is so cool. I love this necklace. Okay, we got a twisting barrel clasp. We've got, I guess that looks like really miniature hashi, which is that really small stones that they have made in discs. This kind of, I guess you would still can, if, even if they're animals. They're not. It's not like a, when you find a Native American, you can have a lot of the necklaces that have like birds on it. Um, but this is got hippopotamuses, a bird, like an elk, or a, I don't know, a horse, a polar bear. I don't know. There's got a lot of different ones on there. That's a really pretty necklace. Comes down to a pendant bail down there. I'm not sure. A lot of times with turquoise, you're going to find that veining, and you're going to find like ridges in it. This is really smooth. It doesn't register at all on the gem tester, but I'm curious if these will. Neither do those. So I don't know what those are made of. I know we can't sell ivory like on platforms. I don't know if they're ivory or bone, but they're not plastic. Let me just say that. And so that's just a really unique necklace. I love it. My mom, when she was still alive, she worked on Indian reservations. She was a social worker, so she worked very closely with them, and so she had a lot of Indian made jewelry that were given to her as gifts. You know what I mean? Um, that's pretty. I like. I like. I like. All right, just a general. Um, See, I bet by this point, like my friends Carrie and Chrissy, who are just coming on here and learning a lot about all these stones, they at some point are probably gonna like learn to identify these other stones that they maybe never used to know. Like this one is a stone that we see all the time. I'm curious if Chrissy or Carrie can remember it, if you know which one. Now, this is not the same as these. I think this is a man. This looks like a really, really big cat's eye, but that does not look like tiger's eye because it's too consistent. Just this. But this is definitely tiger's eye all up in there. It's pretty. Pretty, pretty. That is so pretty. Oh, I love that. Oh, I've never seen this kind of like striation or color tones on. I got to get my pen to get untwisted. Hold on. Okay, so we're looking at a really unique toggle clasp here. Um, I don't believe it is sterling, although we're not getting any magnetism there. Some really pretty beads with some floral. It's hard for you to see, but they have like little floral etching in there, and some small spacer beads there as well. But even these smaller stones have the same kind of color variations as this very large one. Um, my guess is it's a type of jasper. It's beautiful. I love the colors of it. And so there you go. It does fall in that range. Um, that is a unique necklace. I have not seen that stone before. Have any of you guys? That's pretty. Love, love, love. Okay, so here we are. We're now grabbing the blue stone, the ones that I've talked about a lot tonight. Now this, when you first grab it, our minds will say that this is either going to be lapis lazuli or it's going to be sodalite. And so I know the answer to this because I do, but I'm going to ask you and those of you that are just learning, what is the, because I've been telling you guys over and over and over in my videos about how we can differentiate under a loop. How can we tell whether this stone, by looking at it close up, is lapis lazuli or if it's sodalite? Because in general, they're both going to have variations of blue. They're both going to have some less, some more versions of white. Some blues might be more like navy blue versus dark blue, but those two stones, sodalite and lapis lazuli, can look very similar. So those of you who are learning, some of you already know, like I know Pack Rat Queen knows the answer to this, but some of you that are just learning, what is it that we need to look for under the loop? I know the answer, but that is going to tell me this is lapis lazuli. What are we going to be looking for? That's right. You got it, Mel. Excellent. We're looking for gold, flecks, gold, and sometimes it can be significant. Sometimes it can be a lot of gold flecks, and sometimes it can be very minimal. And so you got to really, and you got to look at, especially when we're looking at a lot of chips like this, you got to look at a few of them, okay? So I'm looking under my loop, and I'm looking at all these, and I definitely see gold flecks in here. Now, I will have to say the gold flecks, uh, yeah, it does have gold flecks in it, but sometimes you have to be careful that the gold flecks that you're seeing are not like little pieces of dirt. You know what I mean? Like you want to see that it's in the stone, that it's not like sitting on top of it. So like these stones do not have significant gold flecks. It's really minimal. But sodalite will not have it at all. So I'm still looking here because I'm still not convinced. I just looked at one stone and definitely saw it within it. To me, my instinct is this is not sodalite. To me, I feel like this is, I mean, it is sodalite. I feel like it's not lapis lazuli because I don't see enough. I think the little things that I thought were gold flecks is possibly just, dirt. But now I'm seeing some gold flecks. So this one's a hard one for me. It's because I see little teeny pieces. Usually it's more easily identified because the flecks are more significant. You know what I mean? But that is the way you can typically tell. But because these beads are so small and varied, okay, I'm going to look more. Yeah, I definitely see little bits of gold, but sometimes it's more like a shimmer, kind of like in the aventurine. It's not really but that has a lot. Okay, it's lapis lazuli. I'm just saying it is because I see enough that it has to be. Sodalite would not have it in it. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. I know what kind of agate this is. This is a type of agate, and an agate is a type of quartz. There's two actually on here, but you have this very soft, bluish gray, really light, which has some variations where it looks a little bit white and then a little bit more blue. I know what kind of agate it is, but can anyone tell me what that agate name is? It's a really pretty one. Not the pink. We're not looking at the pink. We're looking at just this grayish, bluish one. This is called, any takers? And this needs to be cleaned. It's all dirty. That bluish, grayish stuff is called lace agate, okay? And it just, it kind of makes you think of like pretty little lace, and soft tones and colors. But let me show you on my phone real quick. I'm just going to pull up a picture of lace agate so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, and let me say lace agate chips, because then that's going to definitely give us. Okay, so you see it right here. More specifically, blue lace agate, yes. But there you go. Blue lace agate. Very, very pretty. Okay, and then most likely, this is probably rose quartz, this pink one. Although you can have like pink jadeite as well. But it's kind of purpley pink. I'm not convinced it's rose quartz. I just think it's a type of quartz. But anyways, this particular necklace has the chips intertwined with those circle beads. So it does have a vintage, fishhook clasp that looks not sterling or gold to me. It definitely looks not like a, precious metal, but it still functions and does its job. So there you go. That needs a little bit of a cleaning. Blue lace agate is so pretty. I love that stuff. Okay. So this one, that looks like amethyst when I first look at it. But to me, I feel like that might just be either a banded agate, because usually amethyst has a little bit more purple to it, not consistent purple throughout. You can often get amethyst that can have some banding and all that. But this to me looks more like amethyst. This looks more like possibly an agate or glass. But let's see what we got going on there. So it's going past um, quartz all the way up into jadeite. So that could be a version of some type of jade. I don't know. That's interesting. It didn't look like amethyst to me, but now let's check that one bead. This one does look like amethyst to me. And amethyst is going to fall right there where that quartz is. You see where it is? That's falling right where amethyst is. But then here's the one that doesn't look like it. Let's see if it goes all the way up to jadeite again. It's definitely going higher. It's reading differently. But it's got some other really pretty, kind of translucent stones on here. Very kind of soft colors to it, kind of pastel-y. It's very pretty. And we've got this a little, oh, look at that. It's like a little butterfly clasp toggle. That's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Yes, agate should show banding. This shows banding to me. You can see it. But it's going past quartz. You see? I think it's going all the way up there into jadeite. Isn't that crazy? Yes, agates definitely will have banding. That is correct. But you can also, there's a lot of agates that come in so many different colors that sometimes someone can confuse an agate for like an amethyst, because I bet you can get some purple banded agates that are not amethyst, just as this was a purple banded agate, but it didn't even register. I think this is something else even, but there we go. We got to go check out Felicia's, all her natural, she's created a little like museum. She's got a little cabinet that she's been learning about all the natural gemstones. You're taking a class, right, to get some sort of certification, right, Felicia? And she has been collecting the natural forms, I think polished and not polished, of all of the common gemstones that we often come across in jewelry making and the like. And she's collecting them into, so she's going to have to do one of her teaching days one time where she's taking us on a field trip to her cabinet. Okay, here's another cool lobster clasp with a little star. That's kind of like a brassy tone. Okay, we've got some little spacer flower beads in there. Yeah, I think some of these are agates. They're translucent. Okay, some of them could be jasper, like this dark one down here could be a jasper. Doesn't have any light that passes through it, but it still comes up to the quartz realm. So anyways, a variation of some different types. That necklace is, oh, still working on labeling. Nice. This necklace is about 23 inches. Okay, we're almost done with the necklaces. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Look at how pretty this one is. Oh my goodness. We've had some pretty stones tonight. So, a big round pendant stone. Again, it's got purple in it, but I don't believe that that is amethyst. There could be some beads on here that might be, like that one might be. But to me, a lot of those beads look similar to some of the beads that were on this one. So we'll see what happens when we do our little testing here. So that is kind of going up into the jadeite. Again, it's sort of registering. It keeps going up like the other one was. That's interesting. I know you can't see it. It's blurry. Come on, focus. But you see it's going past amethyst. That's interesting. And or quartz or whatever. And again, so is that one. Very interesting. Here we got a clear one. It's totally clear. And that's sort of staying in the quartz realm. So enjoying this immensely as I'm screwing everything up. Yes, we are. We're all learning and discovering together. It's a big mystery. We don't know half the time what they are, but we know when it's pretty, right? That's how I feel. I know when it's pretty. I'm sorry, I had to take a drink. All right. All right. So here we have another hematite necklace, magnetic, you see. I mean, not necklace. So look, I don't even need a clasp. I can literally just wind it around my wrist and it will just connect. You see, it's these ones are the magnetic hematite. You can also have non-magnetic hematite, which is probably what these middle ones are. But we do actually, I think some of those look metallic and some of those look black. But anyway, so I think they're all kind of meant to turn into a bracelet. So we got that. And this is more hematite. Now look, this is non-magnetic hematite, okay? It is not sticking together, but it is the same. You can have, I'm going to show you on my phone real quick. Magnetic and non-magnetic hematite. What is magnetic hematite? Magnetic hematite starts out as the natural or raw form of hematite. This raw form is made up of iron oxide that contains small amounts of, okay, go away. You're not invited. Titanium that can be found in black gray to silver gray, brown to reddish brown, whatever, go away, advertisement. Gemstone quality hematite is an opaque stone. Again, opaque is what I'm talking to you about how light cannot pass through it. These are opaque. That looks very similar to metal. This natural form of hematite does have a small amount of natural magnetism, but usually not enough to measure. So I guess you have natural hematite, not magnetic. But usually not enough to measure. Natural hematite is rare and very expensive to mine. Okay. So I feel like that's interesting because this is non-magnetic hematite. Maybe it's slightly magnetic. I guess they are sticking together a little bit, but not as much as those others because I feel like hematite is quite common and you see hematite necklaces all the time and they're not massively valuable. Like, people don't pay high amounts of money for it. So that's confusing to me where it says natural hematite is rare and very expensive because I wear this to be faux hematite. So I don't really know what they mean by that. Natural hematite becomes magnetic hematite by creating a composite of the natural hematite, natural hematite, magnetite, and small amounts of other minerals such as copper, titanium, and aluminum. Okay, so they add some additional things to it. This composite material is then heated together. So it's a man-made. So what they're telling me, I guess, is the magnetic hematite is man-made, man-created. Interesting. Magnetic hematite and natural hematite looks and reacts to tests very similarly. It even has the same chemical composition. It's hard to tell the two apart. Well, it's not that hard because it's either magnetic or not. To each other, I mean. Like when we talk about, like this is magnetic as a stone, but those other ones, they were magnetic to each other. This is not magnetic to each other. So but it is magnetic. Okay. It's like a big science experiment. Okay, so there's that. That stone is beautiful, and that might be labradorite. It's possible. It looks more like a jasper, though, to be honest. I don't really get the little flash that it gives off. Get a little bit of reading, maybe. But they are definitely some pretty stones. Another different clasp there. I just love all the color variations. So this has some pretty mauves and light, tans, but then also some darker colors. Very pretty. Look at that, baby. That is gorgeous. Right? I do know there's an agate. I'm going to take a picture of this agate. It's like a spiderweb agate or a cobweb or moss agate. There you go. Moss agate's very pretty. Let's see what my Google Lens calls this. If it recognizes it, I got to get it in the light. Let me turn this away for a second so I don't keep getting that reflection on it. Okay. So, large amber-colored glass bead stone, free-form polished dragon agate. Huh. That looks very similar. Don't you guys agree? Smooth free-form pendant, black fire. And again, blue dragon vein agate. Not massively expensive. Spider web. You see, I knew there was something about a spider web. But Google's not always right. So there may not even be one called that. And I just one time saw one and then I think it's one. But I knew it. Okay. So look, this has got some little millefiori beads on here. I don't know if they're Italian made. You know how we were talking earlier about how sometimes I think it's onyx. Please clarify for me, Felicia, if I'm wrong, but is onyx the one that has some white banding? Because look, this black stone has some white in it, and it can have some translucentness to it, which that does. Some light can pass through it. Okay, so let's see what. I don't know if it's okay. So that. I think it's onyx. I don't know if it's tourmaline that has the white in it or if it's onyx. Which one? Don't know. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to show because I've looked this up many times. Hold on one second. How to tell the difference between onyx and tourmaline. Now, I'm not going to ask about obsidian because obsidian is just glass. Like it's just black, it's shiny, it's not going to have bands through it. But I will tell you. And then of course, you have jet, jet. Real quick. Jet, obsidian, onyx, and black tourmaline. There's obsidian, which is a volcanic rock. Tourmaline. Maybe it's tourmaline that has the white. Well, we'll go down and see. Let's see. I know one of them has white stuff to it, and it's partially it's translucent through those white banding. So obsidian is a form of volcanic glass. And it's not a crystal. And yes, I'm already familiar with that. It's shiny, it's glossy, blah, blah, blah. So there's obsidian. Okay, when you hold a piece of onyx, one thing you'll note is the density and the weightiness of it. Between two similar pieces of onyx and obsidian, which can look very similar, the onyx will be heavier because it has an actual crystalline structure, whereas obsidian does not. This is random molecules and air bubbles. That's good to know, the weight of it. Not that I can really tell on that, but that does have some weight. Onyx tends to have a slightly duller finish, but can polish up to be quite glossy. Okay, there you go. The white stuff I'm talking about. So it's onyx. I was right. And you see we have this bead here that I think is onyx because it's got some white in it. Onyx tends to have a slightly duller finish, but can polish up quite glassy. So don't rely on that alone. Onyx may also have some banding and some whitish or grayish spots, but usually no translucency. Well, I thought it had a little bit of translucency in the banded part, because you can see light come through that white part. You see, I've read variations of that. I've read that the light can pass partially through it. Onyx, being true mineral, has that crystalline structure at the atomic level. Well, it had the time to form one, growing slowly underground as crystals do. Okay. Black tourmaline is a favorite of mine. And, oh, you see the black tourmaline also can have white in it. Okay, I've just confused the heck out of everybody. And one of the crystals I use in my sacred grounding trio. It's a natural form as seen below. Black tourmaline is hard to confuse with others listed here. Oh, it's hard to confuse. But when it's when it's a natural form, it's hard to confuse because this is not polished. But when it's tumbled, it can be hard to pick out because it polishes up relatively well, but usually not perfect. And that's how you can usually tell from others. I do believe that tourmaline can have little bumps in it, little like holes or little like whatever. You'll see some divots. There you go. And possibly some rust from iron content. Energetically, black tourmaline is a go-to, negatively neutralized, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about all that. Okay, here we go. And is able to, we don't care about that. Okay, so there it is. Tourmaline is going to possibly have some divots, and the onyx is the one that can have the white bandedness. And I think this is onyx, personally. It's just my call. And we believe that this is, what did they call it? Did everyone learn something here? Am I boring you all to no end? Let's go back. Oh, no, we were here. They were calling this mossy green, blue dragon vein agate, black fire. You see how they have like a million names? It's no wonder that half the time people are confused. Crab ceiling fan. And then you have a snakeskin agate, also confusing. But all that being said, it does fall right at the beginning of quartz. So it is a type of agate. There's no question about that. Again, I talk about agates they're translucent. You can see light shine through them. Okay. It's partial. Transparent is when you get full light, like a window. Okay. This is translucent. And then Jaspers are opaque. Means no light can pass through them. But this is cute. So we've got, some man-made Millefiori beads in there. And this looks like that watermelon-y bead. You have that bead that can kind of change color from, I think that's just a type of glass, but it can sort of give you different colors. I don't know. I may be just rambling. So there's that. Very, very interesting. Yes, I agree. I'm almost through the necklaces. Tiger's eye, possibly turquoise, multi-strand. You see, I think that's not turquoise because I think turquoise does not register on the gem tester at all. That's what I've always been told, is it doesn't register. Now, you can't test turquoise on the gem tester and identify. All I know is I don't think it shows up on there. That doesn't mean it can't be other things. Like here's another one that's turquoise looking, but I think this is not. You see it looks dyed because it looks kind of white. But then we can get another one that, you see that one goes way up. But I had ones earlier that didn't register at all. So confusing. So these last ones, all of them have sort of some tiger's eye, multi-strand chip necklaces. This one has some shells on it. It's got some seed beads. This is this is multi-strand, but they are multi-levels. You see, it's kind of shorter and longer layers. We've got some little magnetic faceted beads on there. We've got some. I don't know if those are acrylic or glass. I think the little orange ones, I think they might be acrylic. But there's that one. These are probably pearls. Yes, those are pearls. I get a little bit of grittiness there. And this is probably quartz, like rock quartz. There you go. And then, so pearls, rock quartz, and then the dark stone, which is probably onyx. Look right here, guys. In this little black stone, if you look in here, there's some white banding going on in there. Let's see if I can find some white stuff in some of the others. And I don't know, it might just be a type of jasper. But we got a little bit in that one. So it comes up a little bit. Not sure. It's all a guessing game. So there's that. This looks totally faux to me. Totally man-made. This looks like glass, a faceted glass. And it goes up a little. But maybe that's a dyed magnesite or something. Because it doesn't have black veining. Very simple. You see, this is the epitome of my pet peeve and how you get these necklaces that get misshapen and they look absolutely dreadful. Look at this disgusting thing. I mean, it's a beautiful necklace, but like, who wants to wear that on your neck? Like, yeah, you might be able to get it straightened out, but in the meantime, you might like break the necklace trying to, it drives me nuts. It's my pet peeve. All right, here's the last one. These look like real freshwater pearls to me, and they are. I get the grittiness, faceted glass beads. We've got a whole bunch of little seed beads and, some faux turquoise looking stones. Super long, used for layering, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that brings us to the end of all those necklaces. Now, let me ask this before I move on to another thing. Was there any particular, I'm not going to go through all the necklaces, but was there a standout of any of those necklaces that you just can't get off your brain that any of you want me to run for you? Again, I'm not going through them, but I'm happy to run if there's anything that you're like, oh my God, I really would be interested in blank or whatever. So I'm just going to give you a little look real quick again of all the stuff that I just went through. You know, I don't know if this is still considered a fetish necklace if it's not birds, but that was really cool. And that weird, interesting, um, the turquoise colored multi-strand. Okay, so you're talking about the longer one, right? That I just wanted to play with my hands. Is that the one you're referring to? Let me grab that. I think you were probably referring to this one, correct? And so this is not artisan made. This was made more recently because a lobster claw clasp is a more recent, it's not, I guess it could potentially be vintage, but it's definitely not antique when you're getting a lobster claw clasp. But this is just gorgeous. So let me just snap a picture of this real quick so I can just get just a guess of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put that around the neck. Ishness, like kind of like that. Try to ignore the ugly thing there. Okay. It is so pretty. I love it. Thank you for your patience. I'm just trying to look at multi-strand ones. You see, I know because it's got this clasp, I know it's like massively produced, like I know it's not like an artisan made, like fancy, jeweler, whatever. I also think that if this registers at all, I don't believe it's turquoise. So I think it's a dyed one. Um, so, yeah, okay. So I'd be willing to do this for 11. Would you like me to run that for you? I think probably a dyed howlite. I agree with you. Lulu's lovely treasures. But although there are all these signs, man-made, more recent, it lays so beautifully. It's beautiful. Okay, so let me run that for you. I'm going to try to make it look pretty. Not that it really matters for the picture. But because honestly, when I take a picture during my lives, it is the only point of it. Usually I do pre-bids, but because we were doing this unboxing bagging thing, I wasn't doing any pre-bids. But the reason I still try to take a picture of it is so that when I'm like pulling things to ship to you guys, I know I'm sending you the right thing. You know what I mean? So okie dokie. We're going to just duplicate this and change the price. So here, we're going to edit it. We're going to take a picture, which every time you take a picture during the live, it's always blurry. But whenever I take a picture before the live, it always is great. I don't really know why it does that, but so we're removing that. And then I'm changing this to 11. Okay. I'm going to update listing. And we're going to move it to stage. Sorry that took so long. All right, so I'm starting the auction now on that necklace for Tiffany. And then we'll do, I think we'll do bracelets next. We'll just bunch them together. I do have more necklaces, but they're the ones that have like cords and metal, whatever. Okay, so beautiness. Love it, love it, love it. Woohoo! So that's going with Tiffany. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring this over here one more time. If there's anybody else that had anything that was screaming, like I think these necklaces are really unique. Those ones that were, you know, I don't know if you remember when I put them on the thing, those were really unique. I think this fetish-like necklace is really unique. I think some of those ones that had colors of stones that I totally didn't recognize. I love it when, you know, everybody wears lapis lazuli. Everyone wears, you know, all that. But when you have something that's totally different, I just love that. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. But if at any point you're like, you know what, I really think I'd like to take another look at whatever. And you can even reach out, and you don't even have to know you want to buy. But if you want to reach out and say, hey, can you send me a close-up picture of blah, blah necklace? And then we can just kind of chat and talk if you want to do anything else with that. Okay. So let's do some bracelets. A lot of these bracelets are stretchies. So I'm willing to let these go for really incredible prices. And then I put some necklaces in here that were stretchy in here because they're just less valuable to me. There are a few bracelets that are regular, regular attached with toggles or clasps or whatever. But so let's go through this. I may have to make some stacks as we go because there are a lot of them that are almost identical. So we'll like make a stack of the volcanic, lava rock necklace bracelets. And because like I'm going to go in and grab all the lava rocks. There's a ton of them. Some of them have the, what do you call this? Where they have like the 7 or 8 stones that are supposed to be good for your health, all the things. Okay, so I'm going to put all the ones that are lava rock. Yeah, what's that called? The necklaces that have all the 7 colors. There's a name for that. They call it something. I forget. I'll look it up. Because I like listed things that have that. And I describe it as like, and the second I see it, I'm going to be like, yes, I couldn't remember it, but that was it. You ready for me to say that? Chakra. That was it. That was it. Chakra. Which I know it has something to do with, I don't know. So there's only one of them that's like that. But all these others are variations with lava rock. There's just some metal beads on that one. I'm sure that this is, it's got a little owl on there. I'm sure that that's just like a dyed magnesite or howlite or whatever. I don't know. That's probably a howlite bead right there. Just lava rock. I think that's probably some type of jasper. May not be. It doesn't really register much. And then we've got some really pretty blue beads there. And they're blue like that, but they're translucent. It doesn't go up to spinel or anything. I don't know what stone that would be. Maybe it's just a blue quartz. I'm not sure. Because it's not aquamarine. Aquamarine would be lighter. So any interest for anybody in any lava rock bracelets? I'm going to give you a 5 countdown, and then I'll move on. Well, I won't actually count out loud, but I'm drinking in water, and you can ponder that thought. Okay, moving on. Now I'm going to pull out ones that have either howlite or magnesite-like stones. The ones that essentially get dyed to look like turquoise. There are several of those. That's a fancy chakra one, but it does have some there. I'll keep it in there. Now, there's more in there that are like dyed stones that look like turquoise, but that could still be these same stones. Now, there's 3 of these that are exactly the same. The stretch is not amazing. If anyone ever wanted one of those, they would literally just be buying it for next to nothing, because it would just be like harvesting it for using it for stones, or, I mean, you know, like cutting them apart and using them another way. So nobody wants those, I'm sure. There was this really big, long, I put it in here because it was stretchy, but a super long necklace that says, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. It's super important. Everybody breathe. Again, my guess is this is the magnesite, because the howlite, to me, I think is that, because it's got black lines. So we got 2 of those that look exactly the same. If anyone wants any howlite looking bracelets. Now, here's what's interesting. I think this is howlite, but this is different looking. I think this is this is like gray, and the lines and striations in there are very varied. You can have some that barely have any versus this. I think this is a different stone. That's my opinion. I mean, what do I know? Look how high up that goes. But then this one barely goes at all. You see? So they're definitely different, although they look very similar. Okay. So I'm moving on. There you go. There's that. All right. Now I'm going to pull out all the chakra ones that are left, because, you know, there's chakra-ness going on all over the place here. Oh, well, maybe not that much left. Hold on one second. I wanted to look up this. I wanted to see the spelling of this. Pink and green gemstone. Oh, yeah, they call it unikite. Unikite. I wonder what the difference is if there is like a moonikite too, because I know that Felicia said something that starts with MOONE, or maybe they're related. Maybe they're just two different names that are similar, but unikite. Okay. I wanted to remember because I see some unikite in here, I think. I think this is unikite. Anyways, so some chakra-ness going on here. We got a chakra bracelet, and then we've got, little stations of chakra. And so this in the chakra bracelets are considered, these are amber. Now, this is not cold. Remember, I always tell you amber. Now, I don't know if this is faux amber, but if it's true amber, when we put it under blue light, which I'm going to do it under the desk where it's dark, and if it is, then I'll turn the lights off and show you. But it will. So this is faux amber. It's not giving me what amber would do. But I think in the chakra necklaces, they describe what the things are. I think you have sodalite and amethyst and carnelian and tiger's eye and turquoise. Let's see what they say. Because they're all supposed to work together to like make you healthy. I don't know. I don't wear a chakra bracelet. What are the stones on a chakra bracelet? Okay, here we go. Typically, you have a clear quartz or an amethyst quartz. Oh, well, I don't care about the third eye chakra, all that. I just want them to name the stones. This is what I want. So you have typically an amethyst, a lapis lazuli, a turquoise, a jade, a tiger's eye, a calcite, and a red agate. But I think that that's carnelian, not a red agate. So maybe people do variations of it. Yeah, I think that's carnelian. Red agate would not have light pass through it. Maybe not everyone uses the same exact 7 things. What stones are in a chakra? See, we're learning here. Sorry, I'm enjoying Milk Duds. Oh, I guess it can have a variation of different things. Okay. Well, resin amber, tiger's eye, jade, but they have emperor stone, turquoise, lapis lazuli. I don't know. Okay, I'm ready to move on. There you go. I'm going to pull out amethyst ones or purple ones that maybe aren't amethyst. You see, like I don't think that's amethyst. It's like too much banding, but I could be wrong. It could just be like an agate. But maybe it's amethyst. Maybe amethyst can have white in it. I don't know. But it's not going all the way up to Jada, like what it was on that other purple stone. Although that one kind of is. Okay. It looks like we got possibly onyx, possibly malachite. Am I saying it wrong again? Ugh. Darn it. Where's my phone? Malachite is green. Hematite. Hematite. Rose quartz. Definitely amethyst. 100%. Shoots right up there. Lots of amethyst. You see, look how high that one goes. I feel like that must be some type of jade. It doesn't react the same. I don't know. See, look how high that is. That's not quartz, although it's a clear stone. And remember how we talked about how jade can be clear? Very interesting. I don't know what this blue one is, but it's going all the way up there to jade also. See how high it is? You got to know your stuff. Lots to learn. There's the purple ones. Now, when I'm done with this, if you guys want to like, for like, you know, $6, as long as they're the stretchy ones, I'll let you guys pick like 3 or something. I don't know, 6, as long as they're not like the really nice ones, but like the normal stretchy ones. Anyone who wants to like pick 3 from the stretchy ones, I'll be willing to do that for like 6, if they're just plain stretchy like that. Okay, so I'm going to now bring ones that appear to have sort of clearish beads, pastel-y beads, rose quartz-ish kind of beads. That's just glass. That's not even real. You see what I mean about cat's eye? You see how the effect that this has is very symmetrical, like it's affecting all of the stones in exactly the same way. When you look at mother of pearl, it does not look like that. It's very varied. Okay. So I think that's all I got there. So super long, most likely just quartz, I'm guessing. Yeah, I would still call that quartz. These might be glass. They might be a gemstone. Possibly. They might just be glass. I think that one's quartz. This one could be garnet. Garnet falls, well, it kind of doesn't look burgundy enough to be garnet, but garnet will fall right there next to tourmaline. So that's made by, this is just a low, non-expensive thing. This is glass. I already know. Faceted glass. This is probably rose quartz, and then it's got faceted glass in it. This has got some really pretty colors in it. I love the colors in this bracelet. I think they're all possibly types of faceted agates. Anyways, so there's those. Let me get ones that look turquoise-ish. They're the ones that are left that have turquoise look to them. Okay. I do know that natural turquoise can sometimes come in other colors. I think you can have like a greenish turquoise. I don't know, maybe even a purplish turquoise. I'm not sure. My guess is I think that's amethyst, but I don't think this is turquoise. I think it's a dyed something. But this is not a stretchy. This is on a clasp that could be sterling silver. Now, just because this is sticking, it's not telling me necessarily that the clasp isn't sterling, but I know that the wire that they use and the little crimping stuff is definitely what that's sticking to. But it's got some beads in here that are not magnetic, so, whatever. So obviously a dyed, can definitely tell that it's dyed. Now this is actually on a sterling silver clasp, I think. Yes, so this is a sterling silver clasp. I wouldn't be surprised if this was actual real turquoise because, the fact that they put a sterling silver clasp on it is sort of a hint, kind of like the hand knotting stuff I was talking about. And you know how I said turquoise barely will show up on the gem tester? So that's barely showing up. So it's possible. I mean, I don't know, but that one's also barely showing up and it's on a stretchy. So you might as well take my theory and throw it out the window. This is kind of what I was talking about, how it's sort of like a macrame, the way that they have the string come around the beads like that. Faceted glass also. I think this is just glass, personally. That doesn't even look real. And then this is probably also on a 925 clasp. Yeah, it is. That is a 925 spring ring. Again, that wouldn't surprise me if that was turquoise, if it doesn't, it doesn't show up. So there are those. Okay. I think this is possibly carnelian-ish. So I'm going to bring reddish orange things out. Uh-oh, there was another one of the chakra ones with a tiger's eye. This is just all tiger's eye. Okay. So this is very vintage chain. These are called book chains for any of you who are new to vintage jewelry. So it's worn on this side. And it got a little bit of texture with those, probably agate. These are agate dangles. It's got a fold over clasp there. But the construction of a book chain is like that, where you kind of have this thing on each side that loops around to create those links. Okay. All of these look like agates or jaspers. Like this one is opaque, but like this one's translucent. I think all of them are some version of that, but you got that bracelet. I think immediately, without even that, I think these are just man-made, like ceramic or glass beads, because you see how like the color there is all rubbed off, and like whatever the stone is should be that stone throughout. You shouldn't have that. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is just glass, which I'm lying, because look, it's showing as something. So maybe just because it's not hand knotted, maybe it's a little bit white there. But I guess I could take my loop and look inside of the hole. If inside the hole it looks pink, which actually it does. So if it was looking white on the inside, then, but I think that, I guess, is some type of quartz. I got to plug my phone in. It's about to die. Okay. This all looks like red jasper to me. If it is actually a stone, it could just be man-made. You see, it's just glass. It's not even a stone. Now, this one might be fake, but then this one might be real. No, they're all fake. They're all just man-made, not real. This, to me, looks like red jasper. That variation that you get. So there you go. It's going up there to quartz, which is what you'd want it to do. Now, this could be either like a kind of a laced agate, or it could be carnelian. Carnelian doesn't have to be consistently orange. It can be, so I can't tell you which one it is, but I do know it's a type of quartz because carnelian is a type of quartz. Multi-strand bracelet there. Okay. I'm going to bring out bright colored things, maybe some greens. I'll leave all the blacks in there and the whites in there. And there's some hematite. There's some shell. Okay, so I think this is I think this is some versions of jasper along with possibly some unakite. I know. I think that's unakite right there. They're all going to go up to quartz. That one might be just glass. It's not registering at all. I keep coming across these little short things that are too short to be a bracelet. Is this just supposed to be an extender onto a necklace? But why would you make such a pretty extender where all the stones are in the back behind your hair? Why wouldn't everyone just use a chain extender? Like, I don't know what these are. So if anyone has any insight, I think this is more unakite and maybe some other types of jasper. I think it's possible all of this is glass, man-made, not even a gemstone. I think this is just like the pink stuff, and it's probably a type of quartz. I think this is aventurine, and I think this is freshwater pearl, which it is. A whole bunch of different types of agates there. And then this is tiger's eye and faceted glass beads. Now we have gone. It's almost midnight. I don't have that much left. You guys want me to keep going to the end? Because it's just a couple of earrings and then necklaces that are on strands that would be super fast like the bracelets, because I just pull all the ones out that are the same. Or do you want me to stop and finish this on another night after I do these bracelets? Or if anyone has an opinion. Not that I can't handle going late. I do it late all the time. Abalone. Probably sterling silver. Very tarnished, but it is sterling silver. There you go. Probably more of the quartz. So like this is probably just like jet glass, This looks like moonstone. It's just a man-made glass made to look like, it looks like, it sometimes can look like an opal. That's also glass. Just glass. Just glass. Also glass. Okay, here's an example of what I mean in comparison to mother of pearl. See how the effect is all the same on all of these? This is a cat's eye. Sometimes people confuse cat's eye with if they're cream ones or whatever with mother of pearl, but that's how you can tell. But this is a stretchy, not anything high value. Okay, just what everyone wants, like an elk, whatever head that is, skeleton head. These are probably like jasper or something. Yes, they are. See, this is non-magnetic. See, it's not sticking to each other, hematite. And then a multi-strand thing going on here with some glass beads, some quartzes, turquoises, onyx. I bet that's onyx for sure. Look, it goes straight up there. So there's those. Now, does anyone have any interest in picking some stretchy bracelets, like 3 for $6? But it would only be like the stretchy ones. If anyone does, then you can just describe for me what 3 you would like, and I can pull some out here if anyone's interested. But I'm not going to like go show them all again. But if anyone is interested in me running 3 stretchy bracelets for $6, let me know. Okay, maybe everyone's asleep. Okay. These were a couple necklace sets that I just put them in here because they had earrings that matched. So I'm not going to take it all out. But this was just a really long, more recent necklace. But it had 2 earrings right here that went with the set. So I just put it in a bag together. So that's all that is. Probably magnesite over hematite because it's brown. Now this has got some really, no, we are awake. That's good. This has got some really pretty colors in it. Aren't those pretty? That is so pretty. Again, this is a stone that I don't know. It's probably a type of jasper. But no, look, it's just showing as glass. Glass. They're so pretty. Glass-ish, unless... Well, I take that back. Because there's some stuff in here that could be like red jasper. You see, like, that's going up a little bit. I don't know. But all I know is it's pretty. Isn't that different? So that had matching earrings with it. So that's the only reason I put that in a bag. Okay. And then I can do this so fast. These literally are just pendants and rings and things like that. This is called druzy. I know that it's like something about this crystal stuff like forms on top of like the inside of like like I think druzy forms like on top of a quartz. I'm going to read to you what about. It's very interesting what druzy is. But all I know is it's some sort of reaction that these crystals like form on top of the actual stone. What is druzy stone? Now, of course, I probably butchered that and didn't say it exactly right, but what is druzy? Druzy refers to the layer, you see, it's on top of it. Sparkling crystals that form on the surface of a rock or mineral. I'm not that crazy. I kind of know what I'm talking about. These crystals can appear as a glittery, sugar-like coating and are often found inside geodes or on the surface of other gemstones. Why'd you go away? Druzy, also spelt with an S or with an E for the end, sets of tiny crystals or minerals that form on the surface of another stone. We already read that. Did I like change? Anyways, you get it. I'm done. So there's that. There's another one. There's a couple druzy ones. They can be different colors. So this is, at first glance, you would think that that's a tiger's eye, but it isn't. It is definitely not a tiger's eye. It looks very much like one, but the striation, the way I think it's a type of agate, but it doesn't, the light doesn't reflect. Oh, what is the skull made of? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a great question. It feels kind of like a resin. I don't know. I mean, could it be bone? Could it be ivory? It's hard to say. I do not feel like it's a gemstone. I'm not going to put it on here very long because I don't want the heat of this to hurt this. But I don't get any reaction. So that's an excellent question. And I would not know how to test that. But the findings on it look sterling to me. So that might be a sign that it's maybe something. But isn't that interesting? You want me to run this? Okay, let me take a picture of it so I can maybe find out a little bit more about what it might be, because that's curious. Gosh, I don't know why it's doing that. It's so weird. Huh. Vintage Cracker Jack hinged plastic. Skull necklace, hand-carved, vintage Italian. Okay, some of them look valuable. And then you got ones that don't look valuable at all. Carved ox bone skull. These kind of look similar right here. Wouldn't you agree? Ish, sort of. Indonesian carved with the teeth and the hollowed out eyes. Because they're flat rather than like a full skull. So just so you know, it's not like rounded like a skull, it's flat. It doesn't seem like jadeite or anything like that. Could it be like celluloid? Maybe. I don't know. But the fact is, I don't know. What I would like to know, though, is if this is sterling. So let me do a quick test on it, and then I can determine what I would sell that to you for. So I just have my thing right here. I can do it super quick. So it's like got a twisted artisan-made kind of wire that goes through him, as well as his jump ring. And then, coming down here, all of that looks sterling to me. So we shall see. Okay, so down there is not, meaning the wire that goes through it is not, but the jump ring is, but that's just a jump ring. Okay, so okay, I'll run that for $4. If it's worth $100, it's your lucky day. Okay. So there you have it. Yeah, but if you like a skull, it is cool. And maybe you'll find something out that I don't know. And then if you do, you'll have to go, hey, look what I found out. It's not going to freak me out. I don't mind if I've done research on something and I only know what I know. I don't mind that if someone finds out, usually I know if something has some value and I don't mind giving it up for a good price because I know what I paid for it. So it's okay that there's some wiggle room on the other side for somebody else. But, so yeah, I'd love to hear back from people when they're like, hey, you wouldn't believe what I found out. Okay, so let me do this real quick. My child better not still be awake. He needs to be in bed. I swear if he is, I'm about to go yell at him because he's supposed to be asleep. He's a high school student, a senior, and they have to get up so early for school. And I hear a TV down there. Okay, so there you go. Paris, 56. It's all for you. Your pretty little skull with his teeth and his hollowed out eyes. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Interesting. But anyways, we at least know the jump ring is sterling. So there you go. Thank you for that. Now I do progressive shipping, so if no worries. So if you purchase anything else, then the second and ongoing things are 50 cents or whatever. And then even if, and some, like Tiffany's, sometimes she's purchased like a ton of stuff with me. And there's times that all of her shipping has been more than she needed to pay me. And I'll still refund people back over my costs, So Paris, 56. Okay. Where do you live, Paris? Like, is Paris your first name? And I was just curious what part of the country you're from. I'm in Pittsburgh, so, it's getting late for me. But some people on the West Coast, a lot of people watch from California. Like I think Val's on the West Coast. So it's only like 9 o'clock for them. So that's for you. California, there you go. It's early for you. Let me go make sure my son's in bed. Andrew. I'll be right back. Can you throw away the trash out here too from your thing? Okay. Good night. Okay, sorry about that. My husband's out of town, so normally he would be making him go to bed, and I've been busy doing this. So, all right. So, anyway, so that's Druzy. These are most likely versions of jade. We've got a little turtle, it looks like, and a little elephant, and a little butterfly. They're all most likely types of jade. Or not. That one's probably a nephrite jade. Oh, you can't see it. So nephrite jade is, it's the second line here. So, and it does sort of almost reach that. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing on that. So this, I don't believe it's tiger's eye, but I think it's some other type of agate. I also think this is some type of agate, but isn't it pretty? Nice little pendant there. Night Curry, enjoyed this. I'm headed to bed, opening my big box from you tomorrow. Oh, the box with the all the greenery and the doormats. There's some goodies in there for you, by the way. Just so you know. Later, Gator. This is probably a sterling clasp. It looks sterling to me. So you've got some glass rings in here. Good night. Thanks for coming to hang out. And some of them might be I think they're glass. This one might be jade. Maybe a nephrite jade. Okay, you know that bandiness that I talk about? How onyx can have white in it? I think this is probably onyx. So a black stone that comes up hopefully into quartz-ish, maybe not. But that bale is sterling silver. It's got marks on it. These are both the same. They're probably either some type of agate or amethyst. I don't know. I'm not used to amethyst having white in it, so that's why I don't really think of that as whatever. So again, more agates. This is definitely a natural pearl. I can tell by looking at it. At first I was like, oh, that's aquamarine, but it's not translucent. Aquamarine usually has a little bit more translucency to it. Just FYI, I'm Mary Lou. You have an order still. Oh yeah, to ship from you. Yeah. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you? Meaning I have an order to ship to you. So this is, yes, that's what you're saying. Yes. And I do my shipping tomorrow. So all of those purchases that people have made will all loop together. So like tonight, you didn't even have to pay for but 50 cents. This might be labradorite, maybe. I don't know. It kind of gives off a little bit of that look. This is definitely a type of jasper. Same with that. Isn't that pretty? Look at the colors in it. So pretty. Probably the same there. This looks a faceted, like this is probably just a dyed something. And so, you know how we had that one bracelet that some of it looked like howlite, but then some of it had more gray to it? I think whatever that other stone is what this is. I'm just not sure. Look how high up it goes. Both of them are the same. Oh, I lie. That one doesn't go up as high. Oh, it does. It eventually gets up there. Here's some hematite. A little, it is, definitely. A little like eagle. Hematite goes way up there. Okay, and this is sort of druzy-ish also. Okay, so those are all the pendants. Anyone else? Is there a pendant that stands out? Anyone want me to run anything in there before I move on? Is there anything that stands out that you can't live without? Because I could do a quick little check on it before I can figure out a price for you, but you can let me know. Thanks for the compliment. Or I mean, I guess it's not a compliment to me, but a compliment of the content or stuff. It is unique. I love it. This whole lot was like 12 pounds of gemstone jewelry. It's beautiful. So on another night when I'm not doing all the showing, I'll group a lot of this stuff together and then I'll sell it in lots. So that's what maybe I'll do for my next show, is I'll put some of the stuff together from this that's already kind of put together in good priced lots for people to purchase. Okay, real quick, I'm going to go over these other necklaces. These necklaces were here because they were some type of, like either on a, some type of cord or chain. And so it's going to have, you know, all the same stones that we've already been talking about. So I'm not going to like test everything, but I'll just show it to you briefly. And I hope they don't become a tangled mess. For goodness sake, that's not what I want. Turquoise, possibly, I don't know, but on this really big, it's made of like wound around thread or whatever. Okay. More of that, what I think is magnesite, just on some gold chain. Goodness gracious alive. This is not going to go well if it's going to tangle that much every time I pick it up. Not what I want to happen. So some interesting stones here. These seem man-made. Those feel like wood. This and this is definitely stone, a really unique color. Definitely a type of quartz of some type. Jasper. It's pretty. So we did that. We did that. Yeah, this is just probably a type of quartz. There you go. With some faceted glass. I'm not going to sit and try to untangle this mess, but we've got some probably aventurine in there. A little hematite anklet. Some cat's eye. I think this is what they call the macrame that I was trying to describe earlier, but all of this is amethyst, 100%. But there was several of those in here, like that one, and I had that one. So I just tried to pull them all together. And again, here's more cord stuff. This is interesting. This really big flower. It's probably not turquoise because it shows up on the gem tester, but it's unique. I mean, look at the little clasp back there with the things. So that's different. This is probably a type of jade. It would not surprise me. See, look, it goes all the way up there. That's my guess. This is probably jade also. Or a type of quartz, but I still think it's a type of jade. It goes way up there. But that's sort of on a cord. A little turquoise-like wired wrap. To see, that's definitely not turquoise. Look at how much it reacts. Sorry, I had a box fall. Sorry for scaring you. Didn't mean to scare everyone. It scared me. Look at how pretty this is. So this is just a little tiger's eye, or actually that was a bracelet. But look at this pretty flower necklace. Isn't that cute? Sort of that macrame kind of thing. Again, I think this could possibly be a type of jade. It's just, but possibly, or just quartz. I'm not sure, but it's super cute. Isn't that cute? So I have a couple of these on cords that are just like these big circle stones, probably types of jasper. Jasper. Yeah. Some type of jasper there. This is just, I think those are agates. I don't think that's carnelian, but, I'm not sure, but that's, oh, that was supposed to go in with the bracelets. Look, remember that thing we looked at earlier? That pendant? That looks like that other pendant. Isn't that pretty? It's like the shape of a heart. And Again, it would not surprise me. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's like a really deep blue. It's kind of thick. It would not surprise me if that was sterling. It just kind of has that look. It's very pretty. It's kind of bluish with some green hints in it. It's so pretty. Definitely some type of quartz. I'm going to put it in there with the pendants. I agree. That one is pretty. This is probably all carnelian. We got this little turtle dude here. And a whole mishmash of stuff that I'm not going to fight with. Probably a type of quartz. Some tiger's eye. I think that could be either lace agate or possibly amethyst. And then this is some tiger's eye. We've got this teeny little Buddha character. He's probably a type of jade. There you go. I don't want to touch that too much. It's just going to become a tangled mess. Or more of a tangled mess. Okay, 2 more bracelets that were supposed to go in with the bracelets. So there you go. So there's that. And then I just, were there any of those necklaces that I just talked about that you wanted me to run? You know, we had some of the pretty jade, you know, some of the little funny characters. This was pretty. That one was super pretty, but then there was the one with the flower. I thought that was pretty too. Anyways, so there's that. Okay. And then all I have left is a few earrings to show you. I cannot believe in 3 hours that I've gone through 12 pounds, 12.4 pounds of, and I did a lot of talking and we did a lot of looking up. So I'm shocked that we got through this much. I'm really impressed with ourselves. I'm glad we can be impressed with ourselves, but I am. Okay. So I'm going to put this away here. We'll go through these earrings. And then what I think I might do for the next live on Friday is I'll do these things again, but I'm going to group them into little lots where I can sell them for good prices. So does that sound good to everybody? Does anyone have an opinion? This looks like Mexican silver. It doesn't look like real silver, but they definitely inlaid, most likely, definitely lapis lazuli. Those are really old, pretty earrings. Okay. I want you to know that lapis lazuli can often have blues and whites, but lapis lazuli can also have blues and greens. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is lapis lazuli, which I do see gold flecks in there. So that's what's going on there. You know, but lots of little simple gemstone earrings. These are pretty significant. Look at these. Wow. They kind of look like pumpkins. But those are definitely quartz. That's probably lapis lazuli. It might be sodalite. I don't really see very many flecks. Probably carnelian at the top. Most likely. These are definitely amethyst. Some of these are definitely sterling silver. I'm not going to go in and You know, my eyes are blurry. Malachite earrings there. Mother of pearl. Ooh, aren't those pretty? Little big button earrings. These are probably jade. I'm sure they're on sterling silver, but those are really cute earrings. Jade or aventurine? Oh, I think it's probably aventurine. Hold on. Looking for the shimmer. Yeah, aventurine. So probably quartz, little dangle pink earrings. We've got these little shell earrings with some possible quartz on it. Don't know. Probably not quartz. Probably a dyed something. These look really old. Kind of a chandelierish. Oh, so you got a piece hanging down in the center too. So looking like that. Those are pretty, huh? These I think it's possible that could be a jade. I don't quite see the shimmer. These are some sort of natural stone clip back earrings. Definitely amethyst. Definitely amethyst and quartz. These are pretty with the little, like bronzy coin dangles there. They look older. I mean, these need to be cleaned up. You can tell that they're old because they just got all that grime and gunk on it. Yeah, this is aventurine. I don't know. Those other ones might be aventurine. I'm not sure. This is probably some type of jasper. Yes. That might be tourmaline on the top. These are probably agates. Yes. Lots of rose quartz. We got some rose quartz. Twist back earrings. We got some rose quartz dangle hook earrings there. That is it's hard to tell because I can't see through the stone because it's on top of the thing. You know, look at how pretty this stone is. The one in the middle. Aren't those pretty? I love those earrings. Those are very me. Just probably all just types of jasper there. Again, I feel like there's somebody, some artisan that made a lot of these three. I feel like somebody made a lot of these. You know what I mean? This might be coral, the red. Okay. Some cha-cha dangly tiger's eye. Some tiger's eye alternating with a stone of which we are not sure. Aren't those pretty? We had perfect matched earrings here. Isn't that great? The pink stone, I'm not sure, but it falls in the realm of quartz or, yeah. Well, let's see. I need to let it finish. It might possibly be a jade. It does go pretty high up there in those pretty little dangles. Wow. Lots of pretties. That's all I have to say about that. Wow. So I am impressed with anybody who hung with me the whole night. I know Mel did. She was here from beginning to end, but there probably are some other people who were also. So, yeah. So I think my Friday show, which for those of you that are new watching me or you've never seen me before, I do have a YouTube channel. It's a YouTube channel also called Cherish Relics Boutique that is jam packed with hours and hours, hundreds of videos of me doing unboxings, unjarrings, mystery things, hauls. That's what you'll see under the regular videos. But you can also go over to the live section and you'll see a lot of all the things that I've done here on District, which include a lot of sales, live auctions, and then also just some of these unjarrings, but that are live. So ever since I started coming to District, I kind of post less videotaped videos. I tend to just do these lives and then post these because I'm doing the same stuff. Why would I edit and put myself through all that hard work? So I want to remind people that if you go to my thing and you follow it, don't just look under videos. Make sure you go and look under live as well, because there's tons and tons to check out. Okay. So I appreciate everyone coming tonight. I cannot believe we made it through that much jewelry, 12 pounds of gemstone loveliness, natural stones. So, like I said, I will tomorrow I'm going to work on shipping. So those of you that have some things that are going out with me, they'll be going out tomorrow. Well, usually I spend the day packing, getting everything printed out. And it's not really until Wednesday morning that I actually bring it there after Zumba. I drop it all off, but I spend the whole day tomorrow getting it all ready because a lot of times I'm selling hard goods as well. And like Felicia was saying earlier, she's got a huge box she just received me. And actually, Mel, you just got a big box for me. Did everything get there safe and sound? I hope everything was beautiful. And isn't the bowl so beautiful? So pretty. Yeah, so yes, perfect, good. I really, really, really tried to, use plenty of bubble wrap and all that. So, I will kind of group things together and provide some good deals and any takers or that. So, come back and see me on Friday. I am not going to be in the upcoming train because my son has a hockey game out of town. So I'm not doing it on that Saturday. So I'll have my show on Friday and then the following Monday. Usually I do the train, but I can't do it all. I'm a mom too. So thanks for coming in, Paris. Paris, what's your first name? I think I wrote it down. Don't tell me yet. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it on my list. Or is it Paris? Oh no, you already said Mary Lou. Right? Am I remembering right? Ah, good. Pat me on the back. All right, Mary Lou. Do you also do resale, Mary Lou? Are you one of our sellers here in District? Good night, Mel. Thanks for hanging. No. Okay. Well, we love having you in. I hope all my long, hey there, how are you? Joris Miles Vintage Romance. Okay. Love that username. I will see you guys later. I hope that the long extended, researching of different stones and, oh, it's Jory. That's a unique name. My name's Curry, so I get unique names. Welcome in. I'm just about to end the live here now, but you can definitely go back and watch it. It's lots of beautiful gemstone jewelry. I mean, natural stone. But I hope all the information tonight was interesting and we're all helping each other learn. You guys are fantastic, and reach out if you have any questions or if there's anything that you saw tonight, or if you rewatch the video and you're like, oh gosh, I really can't wait till next week. I want to purchase something. You would want to let me know tomorrow so I could include it. But otherwise, we'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. And go follow me on YouTube, Cherish Alex Boutique. And also follow me on District, which is the same name. And I also sell on eBay, which is the same name. There you go. Later. Bye.